Hello everyone, we're live. We got Sai in the comments. Hello Sai.
Hi, so
All the comments so far. We'll get started with recent watches. Do you want to go through yours first, Pete?
I haven't really watched much. Let me bring up my letterbox a sec. I've been playing Mafia 3 on the PlayStation
Oh,
for the
nice.
last week. Let's have a look. What have I watched? My diary. I watched The Accountant 2,
Oh yeah,
War of the Worlds, and Mickey Blue Eyes.
three very different films there.
Very different films. I tried to watch The Batman as well, and I couldn't
Oh yeah.
get into it. I really couldn't get into it.
You
I think I
what you were
lasted
saying
about an
before,
hour.
you couldn't get into it, didn't you? I think.
Yeah, I tried watching because I sold my 4K of it and it
Yeah.
was on Netflix and I thought, I'll give it a try. I just couldn't get into it. I lasted about an hour before I was just like, it's a Batman movie and nothing's happening.
I think it is one of those that you either really like or you just really don't get on with. It
Yeah.
seems to like be one of those that really splits opinions. But
Yeah, I Pattinson was okay as Batman. Colin Farrell was the standout from what I saw.
oh, definitely, yeah.
But yeah, nothing happened for like an hour. And he's playing
Yeah.
like the Riddler, and the Riddler's like a
Let's try and get this straight, guys.
All right,
Hello.
All right, Ollie. All right, Pete. You both okay? We turn up my volume a little bit. So I was a bit late on the stream. I doing stuff and didn't realise it got past 7:30 yet.
That's all right. We've not really talked about much. You've not missed much so far. Have you seen the Batman?
Probably just started.
Have you seen the Batman, Tim? Pete was saying he didn't get on with it.
I've got it, but I haven't watched it yet. Is that the one with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard quite mixed things. Some people have said it's quite sort of
That's what I
emo-y.
would say. Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, I think you and Sammy did like it, didn't you?
Yeah. It was one of my. I think it. I don't know. I might, and I'm pretty sure James Movie Bug said the same. I might slightly prefer it over like the Dark Knight, but I also have a very like a big fondness for the '89 Batman. I do love that film.
Same, yeah.
Like, visually, it's stunning, but
Yeah.
there's nothing in it. There's like the first hour, I was just like, when is he gonna do Batman stuff?
It's
Like,
more of a
it's a 3-hour movie.
drama.
Yeah, I was going to say it's quite long, isn't it? Yeah, 176
you can
minutes.
crime drama. I mean, Goodfellas is 3 hours long. Casino is 3 hours long.
Yeah, true.
Godfather is 3 hours long, but stuff happens to keep you engaged.
Yeah.
Nothing kept me engaged. I kept looking at my phone because I was bored by it, so I just stopped after an hour. And I'm a massive Batman fan. I've got like Batman figures everywhere. I've got the Tim Burton movies. I've got the I've got the animated series, Mask of the Phantasm. I love Batman, but this one was dull.
Fair enough. What did you think of The Accountant 2?
I really liked it. I liked it. It
too.
was a different vibe to the first film.
Yeah, definitely. It's more. It's more of a. It's like a road trip film, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a buddy comedy.
Yeah.
Compared to the first film, which was quite a serious, like, action thriller.
Yeah.
I think the story was a bit crap, but
yeah, it was enjoyable.
Yeah, the chemistry between Ben Affleck and John Bernthal was great, I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was good.
Was it the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds you watched?
Yes.
A lot of fun, that one. I have a lot of fun with that one. Do you get on with that?
I like it, but I also don't like it at the same time.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Because like it's a Spielberg film, it looks amazing, but it has that like Minority Report look to it, where it's like
I know what you mean. Yeah,
there's moments that are just like pure Spielberg imagery, like when
I
they
love
come
the
out
plane crash. The plane crash is insane.
Yeah, they come out of the basement and the red weed is everywhere, and it's clearly a soundstage. But the set that they've built looks incredible and reminded me of the old, like 1950s invaders from Mars and the sets that Spielberg used in Close Encounters. But the film is ruined because of the children.
Yeah.
Nothing against children, and Dakota Fanning is an incredible actress for how old she was at the time, but she screamed non-stop through that movie, and it got to the point where it was
I know what you mean.
really off-putting.
Yeah,
But other than that, I think it's a good film. It's you can't really do War of the Worlds Victorian era like when it was originally set. I mean, BBC tried it and they
did try it. Yeah,
they cocked it up. It was rubbish.
Yeah,
but no, I like it. There's moments in it that are really good though, like the bit with
there are.
the train on fire and the bit with all the bodies in the river.
Yeah, the bit when they're getting on the boat. That I really like that bit.
Yeah.
Tim, you're looking like Cyclops today.
Yeah. What's that?
You're looking like Cyclops today.
Oh yeah, I haven't got no curtain or anything on that wall, so I can kind of see a glare, but I can't really see either of you in the.
It's literally just
going,
it's just going over your eyes.
Sponsored by
shut the window slightly. No, I don't think that's how. I'll see if I can move. I'll move along to the right a little bit. That helped.
I think it's just the way the light is. It's just going. There you go. That's a bit better.
Give me a sec. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, shining right in this window here. So now I'm in the kind of shade. But as the sun rises or sets, I'll probably have to move again.
Yeah, I've seen Mickey Blue Eyes. Is that good, Pete? I think I've got the DVD.
It's all right if you like 90s Hugh Grant romantic comedies. It's very much like Analyze This or Analyze That. Came first.
Yeah.
I think that is a better film than Mickey Blue Eyes, but Mickey Blue Eyes has some very funny moments in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 90-minute Hugh Grant comedy from 1999. It's fun.
Yeah.
It passes the time.
And it's James Caan as well, isn't it?
James Caan, yeah. There's a really funny scene in it where it's like not really a spoiler, but James Caan and Hugh Grant are burying a body at the beach, and just over a sand dune are two other mobsters burying a body, and they start shooting at each other till they realize that they know each other, and then they just start having a conversation and talking about who's burying who.
That does sound funny. I will have to stick that one on, I think.
It's worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I will definitely. I do like the Hugh Grant 90s films. In fact, we will be talking about one. I don't know if it's on your list, but from 1995, it's definitely on my list. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
If it's the one that I've got on my list, then yes, probably the same one.
Julianne Moore?
Yeah, it's the one that's on my list.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later then. Tim, what have you been watching?
I've only just recorded my recent watches. There was like 13 films, so I won't show them all. I'll just show a few of the highlights. Well, I say some of the better ones. So I've watched Charlie Varick.
That's a great heist movie.
Yeah, I'd not really heard of it, and then I think I sort of spoke a few times. A guy in HMV in Bristol called Matt, really sound guy, a lot of film knowledge, basically recommended me to buy it. So I did. And yeah, I think the only time I've seen Walter Matthau before was he plays the villain, doesn't he, Scorpio, in Dirty Harry. So weird to see him in this kind of role. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Quite funny as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Joe Don Baker, I think I did hear he died recently. So yeah, R.I.P. to him. I think it's Andy Robinson. I know one of the guys in it. Yeah. I think he was a guy out of Hellraiser. So I was quite surprised to see him in it as well. He plays like the dad in Hellraiser, I think it is.
Andy Robinson is the one who played Scorpio in Dirty Harry.
Oh, right. I'm getting them mixed up then. Yeah. I'm not sure of a name then, of the guy that plays the main dad.
Walter Matthau was in like The Odd Couple and Going Fishing or Gone Fishing. And
right. Oh, I was thinking that was Walter Matthau, that guy.
Yeah.
Grumpy Old Man, JFK.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So yeah, I was quite impressed with that. It's quite sort of funny as well as being like a heist film. Watched this, quite a new one. Watched it for the first time. Last Breath.
That's supposed to be
Yeah,
quite good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, quite tense. Had a few moments. Back spoiling it, there's a bit near the end where it's sort of showing how much oxygen he's got, and he's counting down from like 8 minutes. It was quite a tense bit. Yeah, I kind of like any films where it's sort of set like underwater or they're trapped. Sort of on. It's not really a submarine. I guess they're in like a bulkhead kind of diving thing, but yeah, obviously it's based on a true story. Not sure how accurate it is to the original story of Chris Lemons. How much sort of what do you call it? How much they've exaggerated it, I guess, for sort of dramatic content. But yeah, good. Woody Harrelson sort of quite funny in it as well. It sort of builds up the characters enough with the character arc that once the stuff starts happening, you do care about them. I'm guessing this bottom guy here was Finn Cole. Not really seen anything with him in, but he's good in it. But yeah, quite a tense one. What's that?
What was that, Pete?
Finn Cole's in Peaky Blinders.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've seen a few episodes of that, but I've not watched it properly. But yeah, he was good in that, although he sort of starts doing a Scottish accent, and then there's some sentences where he sounds London, so I don't know whether it was just the accent he puts on or what. And then I'll show you just one more out of the ones I've watched. Sure, everybody knows this. Absolute classic, To Kill a Mockingbird with Gregory Peck. See that? But yeah, first time I'd actually watched this. I've read the novel. We had to read it in school as part of the curriculum when I was a kid, and then read the novel a few times by Harper Lee. But it was actually the first time I'd properly seen the adaptation of it. But yeah, I'd say that's like a flawless classic kind of film, really. To Kill a Mockingbird. Great acting by Gregory Peck, especially.
Nice. Yeah, I've not seen that one yet, but I do need to watch it because it is a classic, isn't it? It's supposed to be a classic.
Yeah, some you hear they're classics, and then when you watch them, they don't always live up to the hype. Whereas, yeah, I would say 9 out of 10, sort of pretty flawless film, really.
Yeah. I've only seen 2 since my weekly watch list. So I watched The Limey yesterday evening. Terrence Stamp, Steven Soderbergh. Yeah. It was good. I'd probably go more towards the way Roy felt like it as opposed to Sam, because I know Sam absolutely loved it. It was good, but the ending wasn't great, and it just lacked something to just move it up a level. Like I like the characters. Obviously, Terrence Stamp's awesome, but the story, I think there needed to be something more to the story. It was quite it just felt like there was something missing about it, and the ending just wasn't the best. But it was good. I'll definitely watch it again, but it's not one of Soderbergh's best films, I don't think. I don't know if either of you guys have seen that one.
I saw it years ago. I've got it on DVD somewhere, but I can't remember where.
Yeah. And the other one I watched was Control, about Ian Curtis, Joy Division.
Oh, yeah, another one.
That was brilliant. That is probably, even though I've only seen 2 films this week, it's in the running for my highlight of the week. Although I don't have any idea what I'm going to be watching, but I just thought it was incredible, because I didn't know anything about him or the band, and I love a good music biopic, and I think the choice of shooting it in black and white was the right choice, because it just fits with the way the film and the story. And he just had such a tragic life. It was just a lot of them back then went far too soon. And yeah, just if you've not seen it, I'd definitely recommend it if you like your music biopics, because it is really good. And looking at what's his name, Tony something, that ran Factory Records, because that's supposed to be a good film, 24-Hour Party People, but I've not seen that yet. But yeah, I don't know if either of you guys have seen Control.
I haven't, no.
No, I'm pretty sure I've heard Sammy talking about it.
Yeah.
Even though I
Yes,
haven't
Sammy
seen
loves
it,
it as
I do
well.
like Joy Division and Ian Curtis. So it'll be interesting, not just for the musical numbers in it, but I did hear that Ian Curtis had a lot of like depression and stuff in his life. So I guess it goes into a lot of that in the film. But yeah, I heard good things about it. But yeah, one I do want to watch.
Yeah, so those are the 2 that I've watched. So not many to talk about this week, but we'll move on to some more of the comments. We've got Jim here. Hello, Jim. Hello, fellas. I'm sorry I could not join you today on the prayer. I think he meant to say panel. Yeah, he's put panel down below. Because I'm going to be in and out and I did not want to be rude. I will be watching and commenting in the chat as much as possible. Thanks, Jim. Jim also said, I enjoyed the newest Batman movie more than I thought I would. There is a scene with the Riddler that reminded me of something out of Silence of the Lambs, damn near a horror movie. Yes, I know the scene you're talking about, definitely. It's very, I know you don't get on with it, Pete, but there's very, especially once it kicks off, like in the second part, even the endings really, like once they resolve the main thing, it's really good what happens after. It's got a lot of tones of like Seven,
Right.
but yeah, it's really good film, I think personally. But yeah, that scene specifically, yeah, that's quite a chilling scene. Jodie's here. Hello, Jodie.
Hey, Jody.
Hello.
Ethan, Ollie, Tim, and Pete. Good to know I'm not the only one who didn't get on with the Batman. I may or may not have fallen asleep in the cinema watching it. There you go. You're not alone, Pete. Tim's feed looks like he's in the Omen. You did for a bit, Tim, to be
Hopefully it's
honest.
not as bad now.
No, it's not too bad now. Excalibur. I don't know what that was, probably relating to something we were talking about, but
That is the name of a film, but I'm not sure in what context.
yeah,
Unless that's got Walter Matthau in it or something. I don't know.
no. Actually, Tim's feed is directed by J.J. Abrams. That man loves his sunflowers.
I was
Very
going for
true.
more of a Michael Bay look. I was trying.
Slow-mo. He loves the sunflower as much as John Woo loves his slow motion shots. Yeah, Tim, you got to give us some slow motion dodging bullets.
My fault being is it's sunny in England, which don't happen too often. I'll try and highlight it. But it's not that, obviously, where I got on the stream late, I just jumped straight on, whereas usually I try and have a little look to check.
Yeah.
Got to feel
Wait,
the view's good and you can see
where's,
me properly.
where's your white doves, Tim?
Oh, what, sorry?
Your white doves.
Oh, what was that from John Woo? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should release a load of white birds and
Yeah. Put your slow-mo cam
not
on.
not allowed a gun in England, unfortunately.
No. He's a blank from the world's end and someone hit the hand drive. Giz is here. Hello, Giz.
Hello, dude.
Hi, guys.
Jody said, love Charlie Varick, great film. Yeah, I'm going to add that one to my list now, actually, before I forget.
Yeah, I think you like that, Ollie. I think
I do like Walter Matthau.
Matt said when I was in HMV, must have been last Friday, that I think he said either Indicator or 88 Films is starting to sell this week. So if it's the Indicator, then you might be able to get Charlie Varick.
I think the last Indicator sale was January, so it's possible that there might be another one now. I'm not too sure. I don't know how many they do every year.
Yeah, but they've always got the 3 for 20.
It's usually in October or so, isn't it? I think, no, I'm pretty sure it was 88 Films, actually. Sorry, yeah, he did say 88 Films has got a sale starting this week, I think.
Oh, fair enough. Jim's on it. Andrew Robinson is the bad guy in Dirty Harry, not Walter Matthau.
Oh, yeah.
Always on it, Jim. Grumpy Old Man, yeah. I hadn't seen the sequel, but the first one's pretty funny. So I watched The Thing from Another World for the first time this afternoon. Had a blast watching it. Yeah, I want to watch it, but it's going to be difficult to just compare it to The Thing.
Don't compare it to The Thing, then.
You can you? Yeah.
You can't.
I mean,
it's a great movie,
different.
but it's a 1950s science fiction film. So comparing a 1950s science fiction film where it's a bloke compared to John Carpenter's 1982 film where it's all practical goopy effects, you can't do. But they are. It is a great movie. Like, I love black and white sci-fi anyway, so yeah, it's a good movie. Check it out.
Yeah, I wonder how Sai as well. I wonder how you got on with Royal Tenenbaums, because I know you went to see that with Sam yesterday for your birthday. Hope you had a nice birthday as well. Love Terrence Stamp in the Limey. Tell them I'm fucking coming. Yeah, That scene at the start. You said you seen it a long time ago, didn't you, Pete?
Yeah.
The scene at the start when he storms into the warehouse, they beat the shit out of him, and then he goes back in and just shoots them all. Oh, so awesome.
What is it on BFI or something? The release.
Lionsgate. Just a standard Lionsgate release. I got it for about £6 on Music Magpie, so not too bad. Media Collector Madness is here. Hi guys, hope you're good. I preferred the Penguin season 1 over the Batman movie. See, I've struggled to get into that. I've watched the first episode months and months ago, and I've not gone back to it. So I don't know.
Same.
Yeah. Has anyone seen the new animated Predator film, and what were your thoughts? I enjoyed it for what it was. No, I watched the trailer and it didn't appeal to me, but I've heard good things about it. I'm more looking forward to Badlands, to be honest, because that looks like it could be quite good. Did you say you've not seen it yet, Pete?
No, I haven't watched it yet. To be fair, I only watched Prey for the first time this year.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Did you like that?
Yeah, it was all right. It was good.
Yeah.
I prefer the original 2.
Yeah.
I actually preferred Aliens versus Predator over it, but
fair enough.
It was all right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Badlands does look interesting, though. I'd like to see where he goes with that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be because obviously they're flipping it on its head with the Predator being the protagonist for a change. So it might be interesting. It might be good to see what I've also read. Linking to that they're doing, they're filming the sequel to Romulus in September, and there's heavy rumors that it's basically going to be an Alien versus Predator film. So hopefully I mean, if it's Fede Alvarez, which it is, and if Dan Trachtenberg has some involvement with it, it could work with what they've been doing, because they've done good respectively with each of the franchises so far. So I said, I had a great day, cheers. A woman passed out during the Royal Tenenbaums. Oh dear. She was walking out and just face planted the floor. Strangest thing I've ever seen in a cinema. Maybe she just loved the film so much she just fainted. I don't know. I hope she was all right though. Odd. Right. Next up, we'll move on to our physical media recommendations for the week. I don't know if you guys have picked any out, but if you want to, feel free to now. I've got one I forgot to pick off the shelf, so I'll go and grab that, and then I can talk about mine whilst you think of some if you want.
I got nothing. I got a stack of Blu-rays and DVDs next to me.
Right. Oh dear. My first one is a film from 2009, and it's a remake of a BBC TV series from, I think, 2003, and it's called State of Play.
Oh, yeah, I remember when that came out.
Yeah. Russell Crowe, Ben Affleck, Rachel McAdams, and Helen Mirren. Basically, your typical sort of conspiracy thriller. About it's a journalist trying to find out what happened to this girl that was romantically linked to this big congressman played by Ben Affleck, and it's basically about this newspaper team working to uncover the truth, and Helen Mirren's like the boss, and really good. If you like sort of conspiracy thrillers, it's a really good watch, and it's one that I think's just been forgotten over the years. I don't know how praised it was when it first came out, but yeah, it's one that I think's solid. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
No, I remember when it came out in when I was working in Blockbuster, and it wasn't a very big renter.
Yeah. And the next one, I think it came out the same year, 2009. Another really underrated film, Law Abiding Citizen. Gerard Butler, Jamie Foxx. Awesome film, very brutal. All the way throughout. Really brutal film, but really good. Like, sort of not your typical sort of revenge film, because the way he does it, like, it kind of flips at the start. You feel really bad for him, but then the further it gets along, you just see the change. And yeah, there's just some awesome kill scenes in this, and just a really great, like I said, revenge thriller. And I think both Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx are great in it. And there's a scene, I think it's outside of a prison, where Jamie Foxx has just come out of a prison, and these cars start to explode. And that's all I'll say, but it's awesome. So
Yeah, it's a good film.
Yeah, have you seen that, Tim?
Yeah, I have. I can't remember too much. I think I seen it around the same time as, was it called Olympus Has Fallen? And I think I might be getting those like muddled up a little bit. Or London Has Fallen, one of them. Did that have Gerard Butler as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
yeah.
president. He was like protecting the president. That was a few years later, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I sort of seen them with around my mates on the same night, so they kind of obscured into one. But I do remember having good action scenes, things in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up is a sci-fi film that, again, is very chalk and cheese film. Some people hated it, and some people, like myself, absolutely loved it. And for me, might be an unpopular opinion, but it is one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made, in my opinion. Bold statement, but it is just my opinion, and it's Cloud Atlas. Absolutely love this film.
Very, very, very bold statement.
I know. I just love this. I just think
absolute mess of a film.
It is, but it's just the characters and the story and the music and just the way it's just about life. And if you've got, I think it's a film that you will not get on your first watch. I didn't. You might not even like it on your first watch. I think this is one of those films that's a grower. I think you've got to watch it multiple times to really get it, because like you said, it's a mess. There's a lot going on. It's all over the place. But at the end, you kind of, the more you think about it and the more you watch it, the more it makes sense. Well, to me anyway. But yeah, I just absolutely love this. I think Tom Hanks is brilliant in it. I mean, if you can play different characters in the same film, like multiple characters, then it's just a testament to acting. And lots of different actors do that in this film, because it's obviously set over different time periods. And yeah, really like it. I'm guessing you're not a fan though, Pete.
I've only seen it the once, and I couldn't get on with it, so I'll probably have to give it another rewatch.
It is one of those, and I've looked at like stuff, like comments on YouTube videos and letterbox reviews, and a lot of people like me said it's a film you have to watch more than once, because like I said, there is so much going on in it. It's like it is one of those films for me, like I watched it the first time probably a bit too young, to be fair, because I watched it when it first came out, so I would have been 10. So yeah, probably way too young to watch a film like that, but I could remember just bits of it. And then I watched it like 10 years later, about 3 years ago, and I just loved it. I just thought, because the bits that I remembered came back to me when I watched it, and I can remember watching it for the first time, and I just absolutely, I just adored it. I don't know if you've seen that one, Tim.
No, I remember it coming out. I think, did it come out around the same time as, what was that, Tom Cruise, like Oblivion, was it?
Yeah, the year before.
Around the same
Edge of Tomorrow or something. Yeah, I think I kind of got them mixed up, but yeah, I do remember here. Has it got Halle Berry in it, Ollie?
Oh, it's Tom Hanks, Halle Berry, Jim Broadbent, Hugo Weaving, Jim Sturgis, Duna Bay, Ben Whishaw, James Darcy, Zuzan, Keith David, David Gayassi, Susan Sarandon, and Hugh Grant. It's a great cast.
Yeah, I kind of remember it coming out, and one I was interested in never sort of picked up, and I didn't really seem to see it around too much anymore. Is it out of print or something?
No, I think you could get it fairly cheap, a few quid on eBay, I think. But I tell you what, Hugh Grant, one character, he basically in one timeline he plays a cannibal. Oh my god, I think it's the start of Hugh Grant's like serious acting. He's terrifying.
Like heretic kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's terrifying in it. But it's a brilliant film. There is like, it's a very messy film, just because it's such a huge story, and there's so much going on in it.
Because you got like multiple plot lines running at once, kind of thing, Ollie.
It's like
multiverse.
It's 3 hours. It's basically set during different places in time,
Um,
basically. And you've got these different characters, and each story is sort of like a different genre.
yeah.
So you've got one story that's set in the present day, following Jim Broadbent's character who's trying to break out of a nursing home. And in this nursing home, it's run by a warden played by Hugo Weaving, who's basically dressed up as a woman. So it's kind of played as a comedy, that section. And then you've got the bit that I said about this, like in a post-apocalyptic future, where there's like nobody really left, and you've got this tribe like led by Hugh Grant who are like cannibals, and Tom Hanks and Halle Berry have to try and survive. So that's like a horror. And then you've got something set even further in the future that's like a sci-fi in Japan. And there's just loads. There's like a romantic thing in like Paris in the 20s. Loads of different sort of genres, but I just love it because it's just so different, and it went for it, I think. So
yeah, sounds interesting. If it's got Tom Hanks, and eventually I'll pick it up. So I'm trying to.
It is good.
I'm
hoping I'm not the only one that really loved it. But then again, like I said, if you've only seen it once and you didn't get on with it, then like I said, I think it really does deserve having at least another watch, just to take you might take things in a bit more. But yeah. And then my last one is one that I mentioned in the WhatsApp group the other day. I know you've not seen it, Tim, but it is one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen, and it's A Monster Calls. If this doesn't wreck you, if this does not wreck you, I don't think you've got a soul, because this is it's just such a hard film to watch, but it's incredible, and the performance that this young like child actor gives is amazing. I mean, you've got Sigourney Weaver, Felicity Jones, Liam Neeson voicing the monster, Toby Kebbell's in this. I think he's a great British actor. It's basically just a story about grief, about this young boy. Well, I won't spoil it, but it's about him trying to control his emotions, and he does it through drawing the character of the monster, who then comes to life and takes him on these wild journeys. And it's such a brilliant film. I think everyone's at the top of their game performance-wise in this, and like crying a river at the end of this, because it's such a sad film, but it's so good. Even the trailer gets me like teary because it's such a well-made trailer. But if you've not seen this, guys, you've got to give it a go. It's just, and J.A. Bayona did The Impossible as well. This was his follow-up to that, and brilliant film. I take it neither of you guys.
When it first came out, I heard good things about it. So it got Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, she plays his grandmother.
I think around the same time I went to see something at the cinema, it might have been about to come out, and they had a huge pop-up kind of cardboard statue of the like monster thing. And then I was hearing it was like critically really well reviewed, and just one that sort of slipped off my radar. Don't see it around when I go in CEXs, but when you spoke about it the other day, I have put it in my Amazon basket. I think it's £4 on Amazon.
So underrated, guys. It's so underrated. Have you seen it, Pete?
No, I haven't. I remember when it came out as well, though. When you said it, my brain was just like, is Liam Neeson does one of the voices?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was another film that came out which I was getting them confused with, which was one called I Kill Monsters.
Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah. No, yes. I'd say a must watch that one, because it's just such a well-made film that, like I said, just nobody talks about it anymore. So underrated, though. Have you guys picked anything to recommend?
Nothing.
What, can it just be any physical media? I don't really know.
Any film you want to recommend, or a few films, up to you.
Overboard.
Oh, great film.
I had to buy a replacement because I lost mine when we moved. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell in Overboard. There we go.
I absolutely loved that film. I only watched it for the first time this year. It's such a good film. Such a feel-good family film.
It's really problematic, though, when you think about it now.
Oh, it is. Yeah, he'd be in prison.
Yeah. It's almost like Prisoners. You know, the...
Yeah,
Passengers, the one with Chris Pratt and...
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
That's a great film. It's massively underrated.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah. I've got that
Nobody
somewhere.
went.
There we go.
You know what happened? It came out at Christmas in 2016, and nobody went to see it except for me. I was there. Oh, I saw it. I think I was probably one of the only people in the cinema when I saw it. But it is a really great sci-fi film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen that one,
Look,
Tim?
See if I got
No.
anything else a sec.
No, I've heard of it, but I haven't watched. No.
Yeah, I've got. Oh yeah, I can see it up there. Yeah. Again, probably one you could get quite cheap. It's been out a while now, but yeah, I'd recommend that. Good sci-fi film that one is. Have you got any, Tim?
Well, this I guess it's a new release, so I thought I'll show it. Although I know Roy's had it a little while. Dancer in the Dark
Oh yeah,
Blu-ray. Yeah, I thought it was a nice touch how it's got Braille. Obviously, it's about visual impairment. So yeah, I thought it was quite nice how it's got the Braille on it. But yeah, as someone that doesn't like musicals, this is by far and away my favourite. I say favourite, it's quite a tough, depressing film to watch. And yeah, I find films don't really affect me that much emotionally. Sometimes, I can feel the emotion, but I haven't genuinely cried at a film since I watched E.T. when I was 4 years old. But yeah, when first time I watched this, it literally did leave me like not only depressed, but without spoiling it, there is something that happens in it that will just leave your jaw on the floor. But yeah, I'd say if you are into musicals or films like that, I would recommend. But yeah, it is a tough watch, to be fair.
Did you see my message, Tim?
Was it one earlier in the WhatsApp?
No, you said, does anyone want your DVD copy?
Oh, no, I didn't.
I just said chuck it. I just said chuck it in the pile if no one else wants it.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it to one side. Yeah, I think they're only offering like £1.20 exchange on CX.
Yeah,
I thought I'd rather give it to a movie fan. But yeah, it is tough stuff. Not really in terms of I'm not without spoiling it, not really gore or violence as such. Yeah. It's just the way the story goes is very sort of heart-wrenching. But yeah, brilliant performance by Bjork, not just in terms of the music, but her acting. Yeah, that was the first time I'd seen. Not sure if she's acted in anything else, but obviously I'd only really known her from that one hit wonder she had in the 90s with Shush, was it called, All Quiet or something? And then
she was in the Northman, wasn't she?
In what, sorry?
She was in the Northman, wasn't she?
Oh, right, I haven't seen that. That's the only Eggers film I hadn't seen, I think,
Yeah, sure she was. I really didn't get on with that. That's my least favourite Eggers film. Yeah, I really didn't get on with it. See, I really like The Lighthouse, and I really liked Nosferatu as well. I've not seen The Witch yet, but I've heard if you like The Lighthouse, then you'll really like The Witch. So,
The Witch, the only thing I find that puts some people off. Don't really bother me too much. I read subtitles and that, but it is all in Old English, so it will be sort of 1600s English, and it is kind of does need subtitles, and it is quite a slow. Yeah. I think it's one of the best sort of horror films of the last 20 years in terms of actual execution, but it is slow going and a lot of Old English, so I can see why some people wouldn't like it. Whereas, for sort of just easiness of watching, I say Nosferatu is probably his most entertaining film. But yeah, The Witch, I personally really like that one.
Yeah. Have you got any other recommendations that you pull off, Pete?
Yeah, I've got 3.
Okay.
Because it's the last good Brian De Palma movie, Mission to Mars.
Oh yeah, I've not seen that one.
Mission to Mars, it flopped when it came out because it came out. I think it was around the same time as Red Planet as well.
Yeah,
they both came out the same year. Red Planet's okay, but there's something about Mission to Mars that I love, and I spent ages trying to find a Blu-ray copy of it. It has an incredible score by Ennio Morricone as well, and really good performances by Gary Sinise, Tim Robbins, Don Cheadle. What's the woman's name? Hang on, my eyesight's terrible. I can't read it now. Connie Nielsen. There we go.
Oh, great cast.
Yeah, and it's written. I can't read. It's all in French.
Yeah.
But yeah, really great movie. Really good message in it as well about the human race. But it's just the music. The Ennio Morricone score in Mission to Mars is incredible. So there's that one. Awesome 80s zombie movie, Night of the Creeps.
Oh,
If you haven't
yeah, that's
seen
one
it,
I've never seen, Pete, but I do want to see.
so good. It's so good. There's the other. So my monitor is like glaring on it. So many funny lines in it. So many good one-liners as well. It's directed by Fred Decker, who also did
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad. Yeah, and
Mm.
kind of ruined his career with RoboCop 3 as well. But he also wrote the Predator, the one that Shane Black directed. That
Oh yeah,
flopped. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was
I
that bad. But
I
yeah,
really
great
like the
movie.
Predator.
Yeah, it's got Tom Atkins in it as a detective who has some of the best lines in an 80s horror movie. It's so much fun. Definitely worth checking that out. And the last one is one of my favorite animated movies of all time. It is Heavy Metal from 1981. Such a good film. I watch this like maybe twice a year, and every time I watch it, I love it. The last sequence has such a good Jerry Goldsmith score over it that it's so good, and it was parodied by South Park as well. So yeah,
Nice, some nice picks there.
Heavy Metal, very cool. It's based on a French comic book called Metal Hurlant, and it's a Canadian movie. It's produced by Ivan Reitman and stars the voices of like John Candy and Eugene Levy, and it's got music by Blue Oyster Cult. It's just really, really good and definitely worth checking that out. That's the Australian release, by the way.
We'll add it to the
There we
list.
go.
Tim, did I see you picked up a few more as well?
Yeah, so this is, I think, quite out of print now, especially on Eureka. Don't know how hard it is to get it if I recommend it, but The Town That Dreaded Sundown. It's like the original version. I think there has been a remake. Apparently, the remake is quite good as well. But yeah, for me, I just really like the atmosphere, and it's based on like the Texarkana killer. I don't think he was ever caught. To tell you the truth, I think he sort of was still at large. But yeah, it's got like a really sort of it's all set over like hot nights and stuff. You really feel like the atmosphere. But then there's one scene with his, I guess it's called a trumpet or a trombone. I won't sort of say what happens, but one of the most sort of iconic, bizarre kills I've ever seen in a film. But yeah, I think this Eureka one is sort of quite expensive now on CEX and stuff. But yeah, I don't know whether they do like an easier version to pick up. But yeah, I'd say that's an underrated kind of serial killer film, I guess you would say it is. And then I thought I'd go with quite an obscure animated one, Belleville Rendezvous. I think it's also known as the Triplets. It's like a friend. It's pretty much silent, but there's bits when it's all about the expressions. You see the expression on their faces, or the dog. The dog has these weird dreams. I think it's the one me and Roy was talking about. Sort of what's the one Roy picked up? It might have been that Delicatessen or something.
You pointed it out to me, didn't you, when we were in CEX last time?
Yeah, because I think Roy said, is it the bit where the mice are like running around on the clock or something? But yeah, in terms of it never really has any dialogue, but the expressions and the story delivers across what's happening perfectly about ever needing words. But yeah, it's quite funny, quite like satirical. It's basically like a Tour de France kind of thing. And the guy is like training and his mum helps him train for the Tour de France. And then they get sort of involved in like a crime and have to sort of go chasing these villains and stuff. But yeah, for actual style, really stylized kind of film. And if you're not into your animated, like I know Roy's not always into his cartoons, it does kind of break the mold. Because one of our mates watched it, he's like, I don't think I'm going to like this. I don't like Disney films, and he thought it was like one of the best films he'd ever seen. But yeah, probably not for everybody. But yeah, if you want to see a bizarre French surrealist comedy cartoon, then yeah, I'd say Belleville Rendezvous. Yeah, I think it's also known as Triplets of Belleville, maybe.
Yeah. Nice. Right, we'll go back onto some comments. The strangest thing I ever saw in a cinema was a woman going into labor during the movie 2010. Her water broke and the poor kid in front of her started screaming because his shoes started getting wet. Wow, that is strange. That's really strange. I think that's a good question. What are your guys' strangest cinema experiences? Mine is by far very strange. I'll tell you mine now. Basically, I've said it before on, I think, a stream, but going back a few years ago now at my old cinema, with me and my mum went to the cinema. It was around Easter time, I think, to see the last Downton Abbey film. So we go in there. This was not long before our cinema shut down, so it was pretty dead. Nobody was really in there. When we got there, it was literally just me and my mum in there. We sat down, the trailers start, and this family walks in. And it was really odd because the son was dressed up in like a tweed like suit. And my mum was just looking at me like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, why are the children dressed up like they're going shooting? So they sat down, and my mum kept looking at them, and she turned to me and she said, "That's Jacob Rees-Mogg, the politician, if you don't know, like a very well-known idiotic politician."
Yeah.
And this is like in like Bristol, a pretty rough area of Bristol, mind. And he's come in his Rolls Royce or whatever, parked outside, and he's come to the cinema to see Downton Abbey with his family. No one else in there. We just found it so odd. Right, gets halfway through the film. There's a sequence in the film where they go to the cinema, and obviously back in the day when you went to the cinema before the film came on, you sang the national anthem. So the national anthem comes on, and they all bloody get up and start singing and saluting at the screen. And my mum just lost it. She had to leave. She was literally wetting herself with laughter. She had to leave. I was struggling as well. And of course, it was worse because we were literally the only ones in there. So if we laughed, then they would have known we were laughing. It was it was so awkward. And then the film ended, and they went out the bloody fire escape. It was the most strange cinema experience I've ever had. Never had a cinema experience like it. It was all in the paper the next day because the paparazzi were waiting outside for them because it's obviously because it was just so odd that they were there. But yeah, that's my strangest cinema experience by a long shot. Do you guys have anything that could top that?
I've never had a really weird experience in the cinema. I went to see Mad Max Fury Road, and I was the only other person in the theater in the cinema.
That's mad. That is mad.
Yeah.
That is.
That's literally the weirdest thing I've ever had.
That is mad. Was it like on opening day or like quite
No.
release day?
It was like 2:00 in the afternoon. It had been out for like a week.
That's still quite crazy, isn't it?
You'd think there'd be a few more people in there, but it was the 3D showing as well, which.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah.
But it was weird.
Yeah,
just not
I can imagine.
Just being me and some other guy in there.
It's like going to see Avengers Endgame like the same time in an afternoon during a week, and you being the only. That would have just been odd because at the time there was no film bigger than it.
Yeah, it was always packed, wasn't it?
It was like the weirdest experience, but also the best experience as well. Because it was the first time I'd ever seen a Mad Max movie on the big screen, and the fact that there was only two of us in there, didn't have to worry about anyone shouting or messing about, looking at their phone.
Yeah,
it was
nice. What about you, Tim? Have you got any strange experiences?
Well, not so much weird that happens in the cinema, but years ago, my mate worked at, I think it was View. I don't know if you know, there was one over in Longwell Green, only by like Asda and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one.
Because he worked there, he'd sort of speak to his manager, and sometimes when it was quiet, we'd basically be allowed in there for free, like 11 o'clock at night, like me, him, and a few mates to watch films. And yeah, it was quite a few times where we go in. I think once we went into the premiere, that showed like the night before it actually came out, where the staff were allowed to watch it, but that was quite packed with a lot of staff. I think that might have been Transformers, the first Transformers film. But yeah, we went to see one. I can't remember what it was called now. I think it had Vin Diesel. It's like an action film. I didn't really enjoy it too much, but yeah, quite a few times we went to see that. Obviously, because he was getting us in there for free, it would literally be only like me, him, and like our mates. So it would be like the whole cinema, and then just say 5 of us in the cinema watching it. And then yeah, like Pete says, kind of nice to have no distractions and got the whole cinema to yourself, no one on their phone, no one shouting. But yeah, can't say anything weird ever happened during the showing where, you know, we get evacuated or something. But yeah, a few times where, yeah, because he worked in the cinema, we'd sort of go to a late night showing and we'd be the only people in there. It was quite weird, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Giz says, has Sam not been able to make it because he's watching Aliens? To
Don't
tell
think
you
he's
the truth,
watching Aliens.
Sam's had a crazy 2 days, so he's taken a well-deserved break. Yeah, it's the last 2 days I've been messaging him backwards and forth. They've been mad from the sounds of it, especially today. So I think he deserves a break. But yeah, no, he's not been watching Aliens. We are still trying to get him to watch it, but for some reason he just wants to hold off until next year because it's an anniversary release and he's hoping he'll get to see it at the cinema. But I don't know why he can't just watch it now and watch it next year at the cinema. I mean, that's what I would do.
I
But
think it's the experience of seeing it for the first time
for the first
on a
time,
screen.
that makes
And
sense. Yeah,
if it's an anniversary, it's possible that they'll show it on film as well and not
yeah,
digital.
yeah. Yeah. If they're showing it anywhere near me next year, I will definitely be going to see that at the cinema. Jim said, I was working at the cinema at the time. We called an ambulance and they took her to the hospital. We later found out she gave birth to a son and named him Hal. That is a very strange story, Jim. Very odd. Jim said, State of Play is a very solid film. I totally agree, Ollie. Yeah, glad I'm not the only one there. Gearsy still hasn't got a copy. He's hoping that it next gets a 40th anniversary screen so he can see it on the big screen. Yeah, he is waiting. Jim said, law-abiding citizen is ridiculous, but it is a lot of fun. Yeah, it does. It is a bit far-fetched, but it's a very fun film. Sai said he didn't like the ending of Law-Abiding Citizen. It's been such a long time, I can't remember how it ended, to be honest with you. Oh, now people are all in shock about my Cloud Atlas revelation. Bold statement indeed. Wow. But like I said, Jim, have you seen it more than one time? Because you may... there are films that you watch and you just don't get it. You absolutely hate them. You go back 2 years later, you rewatch it and you have a different perspective on it. That was Cloud Atlas for me, and from what I've read, a lot of other people have had similar experiences. So Sai's just gone, wow. Sai also shocked. Jim said, I didn't need multiple times to get it, Ollie. I just thought it was a piece of crap. A very ambitious piece of crap, but still a piece of crap. That's a lot of pieces of craps in one sentence, Jim. Driver says, have you seen Clown? Nope. Yeah. I don't know that one. Do any of you guys know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not a great film, but it's quite nasty. But basically, a guy finds... I'm not sure who directs it. I know it always says on the front, produced by Eli Roth, but some guy finds this like clown mask and suit, and he puts it on, and it's cursed, and it like fuses with his body, and he can't get it off, and it turns him into like a killer clown. So if you're into those kind of killer clown, yeah, it's entertaining. I watched it once, wouldn't watch it again. Quite nasty. Yeah. There's some quite vicious sort of gore and stuff in it, and when he kills the children. But yeah, I say it's a bit like Pennywise, but not as good kind of thing.
Right. Have you seen that one, Pete?
I know the film, I just haven't seen it. It came out when I kind of gave up on horror movies.
Fair enough. Jim said, great cast, bad movie. Agree to disagree, Jim, my good sir. Jody said, Dancer in the Dark, amazing film. The first time I ever saw the ending, I was on the train and I audibly screamed. Got a few dodgy looks, lol. And she said, that ending didn't leave me in a hurry. Okay, so I got to prepare for that one then by the sounds of things.
Yeah, it's shocking, but I don't think it's in the terms of like kill list where you won't get on with it because it's too graphic. Even though the stuff happens, it's like got a few gut punch moments there. Yeah, never sort of done in a sort of over the top way, Ollie. Yeah, I think it won't. Yeah. It'll shock you, but not in a kind of
right
over the top extreme kind of way is all I can say.
Yeah,
I've got to say I've only watched it once. I haven't been able to actually bring myself to watch it a second time because it is that depressing. Obviously now I've got it upgraded on Blu-ray, I will give it a watch. But for somebody that don't really get affected by films, I don't think I've really watched another film that has like hit me as hard as that has. So, I agree with Brody on
that. Tom Atkins is hilarious in Night of the Creeps, I said. There you go, Pete. Jim also thinks heavy metal is awesome.
Because it is.
The Town That Dreaded Sundown, the only film you will ever see someone get killed by a trombone. I'm intrigued now. I'm very intrigued how this happens.
I will say the guy uses a trombone as a weapon. It's not like a trombone just comes in the scene and kills someone through its own volition.
Yeah. Anyone else excited for 28 Years Later? Yes, I'm going to see it Sunday, hopefully, with my dad. I'm hoping it's better than the last one because I didn't love the last one. But it looks like it's returning to its roots, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it has potential to be good. I don't know if you guys are looking forward to it.
Don't know if I'll see it at the cinema. Obviously, when we seen the trailer at the IMAX when we was watching Sinners, it looked really good. It did actually look quite scary, didn't it? Not just sort of the creatures in it, but obviously where they've got that loud siren going off on the island. I've watched 28 Weeks Later only once, and I cannot remember anything at all about it. 28 Days Later I enjoyed, but I've still got 28 Weeks Later. I should rewatch it. Only thing I can remember is near the star, what's his name?
The
guy out
the opening's
the main
excellent.
guy out of Full Monty and that.
Robert Carlyle. The opening is excellent.
I remember he's with his kids and then they get split up or something. I literally cannot remember anything else about it other than that. So maybe I'll have to rewatch 28 Days and 28 Weeks, then go into the film. But I don't know if I'll go to the cinema to see it. I might wait until it comes out on physical. But it does look good and definitely looks a lot better than 28 Weeks Later and a lot more horror. Because even though I like 28 Days Later, the first half is kind of horror and then it goes off the rails a bit. Whereas this one does look quite sort of scary, to be fair.
Yeah. What do you think, Pete?
I'm not a big fan of that series of films. I didn't really like the original film. It's. I think I put it in the comments in the last stream that it's basically just a rip-off of
Dave the Triffids.
With zombies instead of plants. And then the second half basically just rips off George Romero's Day of the Dead, where with the soldiers. So there's nothing massively original in that film. I preferred 28 Weeks Later because I thought it was more action-packed. But there is a very, very silly scene in 28 Weeks Later with a helicopter that does kind of take you out of the movie. 28 weeks. 28 years later, I'll give it a shot. I've watched all the other two, so I will give it a shot.
Yeah, fair enough. Giz said, "The Town That Dreaded Sundown is such a great title for a film." Yeah, I agree. It is a good title, definitely. Jody said, "Lol, that is definitely a crazy story, Ollie. Jacob Rees-Mogg dodging the Paps at the cinema." Yeah, it's one of those stories you just couldn't make up. It's just so random, so weird. Yeah, I can't believe that we were the only two in there. It was just weird.
I guess Downton Abbey is the kind of thing you would imagine him going to see, like a middle class kind of drama.
It was there though. It was at that specific cinema at that specific time that was what was so random about it. I'm sure it was like a bank holiday Monday we went, and the cinema was dead, and we were the only ones in there. And then they walked in, and it was just so random. So random.
Yeah, well, in my old job, I used to work in a toy shop, and he used to come in there a lot with his kids, and he'd bring the press in with him, and he'd do like balloting outside, voting, and try and make himself look a part of the community. He'd come in with his kids, and I shop in here every week. This is my local, and all the customers would be like, "We've never seen you in here before, mate," and try and like show him up on his.
Politicians
he used to come in then with his kids and buy them like football stickers or something.
Yeah, that's politicians for you.
Yeah, got to be seen to be part of the public.
Yeah, 1987 Elm Street 3 at the cinema after some magic mushrooms. That was a strange experience. Sure it was.
Quite a bizarre film anyway, even if you're watching it sober. But
Jim said, "I worked at a cinema from 1983 to 1991 and then at a different one in 2003 to 2005. I've seen lots of crazy shit at the cinema." I bet you have. Those are great years, specifically the first ones to have worked at a cinema though. Favorite movie theater snack? Well, my go-to is a hot dog. I won't eat anything else. Occasionally I'll snack on popcorn, but to be perfectly honest with you, I very rarely do have a snack at the cinema anymore.
It's
Just
too expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the price, and I'm not that bothered, to be honest. I don't know if you guys have a favorite snack.
Mine's usually what I can sneak in from outside.
Yeah, same here, Pete. Yeah, sneak it in. Yeah, last time I went with my mate, I think we got in the pound shop, you know, like the big bag of like minstrels. Get them in there for £1. I think at the cinema they were charging like £3.80 for the same size. So yeah, I used to just sneak in some like Maltesers, but I ain't a massive fan of eating stuff whilst I'm in the cinema because you know when you're like crunching and you can't even hear the film over the
Yeah.
crunching in your own ears, let alone annoying everyone else with crunching and rustling popcorn. So yeah, I didn't really used to eat or drink much in the cinema. Even when I was a kid, you probably have some popcorn and that's it.
Yeah. How would you rank the John Wick films, including Ballerina? Oh, that's easy. That's easy. 3, 4, 2, 1, Ballerina. There you go. Not it's not a patch on the John Wick films, unfortunately. There are moments that is it. It's a very average action film. Nothing special. Nothing. Not on the level of John Wick at all. There's some good. Don't get me wrong. There are some good action sequences in it, but the story isn't very good at all. It's a very weak story. And the best bits are when Keanu Reeves are in it. To be honest with you, at the end, and
I
says it
haven't
all.
seen
Really.
Ballerina yet, so I wouldn't be able to rank it in with the John Wick movies. But I would
Yeah.
rank John Wick movies as 1, 3, 4, and 2.
Yeah, solid ranking. What about you, Tim? You've seen how many have you seen?
I've got number 4, but I hadn't seen it, and I hadn't seen Ballerina. But yeah, I kind of thought the first 3 I've seen kind of went down in quality personally. So thought first was the best, second was good, but not as good as the first, and then the third had some good action stuff. I didn't like the sort of characters, some of the enemies as much, but yeah, number 1 the best for me personally.
Yeah, fair enough. Jim said, "Yes, I've seen Cloud Atlas 3 times in fact, and every time I watch it, I hate it even more. Sorry, buddy. I get that. We all have those films we just don't get, but I still am of the opinion it is a film you need to watch more than once. You may, like Jim, watch it again and still not like it. You may watch it and, like me, have a different perspective. I mean, unless you watch it again, you'll never know, I think. But yeah, it is one that I think you need to watch. I think, yeah, it's a hard film because there's a lot chucked into one film. Like I said, there's so much going on. But yeah. David C said, "Oh, this is a good one. Rank the Bad Boys films. Personally, the first one is my favorite because Martin does as many action scenes as well. Now he's just comic relief. I am just going to go for my gut. I'm just going to go backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are my favorites in order. I think they've just got better with each one, but I don't know if I don't think everyone would be of the same opinion as that. But I just think the Michael Bay ones served a purpose. They were really good action films at the time, but I think they were over reliant on action, less on the story. Whereas these last 2 have managed to balance the both. There's really good action in them, but there's a good story to them as well. Well, I enjoyed the story in them anyway, but I don't know how you guys would rank them. I don't know if you guys have seen them all yet.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
So backwards to me, basically.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Not seen the newest one. I don't know if I've seen number 2. I've seen number 1. Literally, I haven't seen it since it probably first came out on like VHS. Did enjoy that. Then I seen one at the cinema. Must have been like 6 years ago. The one where there's like a Mexican witch or something that Will Smith calls a bruja. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that one at the cinema, but not. Yeah, I think I've only seen what was that, number 3?
Yeah.
Why did they call the third film Bad Boys for Life?
That should have been the fourth one.
Yeah. They called the fourth film Ride or Die.
Yeah. What do you like them all though, Pete?
Oh, I love them. I love.
Good, yeah. They're great films. That scene at the end of Ride or Die at the Gatorland. That was just awesome. I just absolutely love that. What was the first R-rated movie you saw in theaters? Mine was T2. But for us, that would be 15. So for us, it would be what was the first 15 rated movie? And my answer was Logan. I snuck in to see Logan. To be fair, it was only about 2 months before I turned 15, but I did sneak into it. And yeah, good film for your first like 15 rated film for me, because I'm obviously a lot younger than everyone else. What about you guys?
What was the first 15 rated film I saw in the cinema? I can't remember. The thing is, films that came out when I was going to the cinema may have changed certificate since.
Yeah, the rating would have probably been dropped over time, wouldn't it? Whereas
I don't know.
not
Like,
as.
I'd probably say Sleepy Hollow was the first 15.
Oh, yeah, maybe same here as well.
Yeah, and then the first 18 was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Nice.
Yeah, it was probably Sleepy Hollow or maybe the Blair Witch. I'm not sure which came out first. Was the Blair Witch at 15 or was it at 12?
It's the same time I think it came out, but yeah,
it must have been one of those in terms of 15. And the first 18, I can't actually remember what that would have been. Probably an action film.
Mine was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think I snuck into that one as well.
That's a good one to sneak into.
Freezing cold. We were the only three in there, and the aircon was on. So you know how long the film is, but
because it came out in December, didn't it?
August.
Was it August?
August, yeah. But yeah, because actually, funny story. After I watched that, that was the first time I ever thought to myself that I was going to do a YouTube video. I wrote up a review. I might have even recorded the video, but I never put it up. So, and then 2 years later, I started my YouTube channel properly. So, but yeah, and it was a weird film because I saw it with my nan and my auntie. So yeah, very weird film to see. But my auntie loves Tarantino, but my nan, who I don't think she's ever seen a Tarantino film before, we just told her that it was a film set in the 60s, and obviously because she was like of an age back then, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go and see a film set in the 60s." But she didn't like the ending. Let's just say that. Is Rees-Mogg really tall? He looks well over 6 feet on the TV. Yeah, he is pretty tall.
Yeah, I don't think he's over 6'6", but he's probably
he's a lanky bastard. Yeah.
Yeah, lanky, and also wearing those stupid clothes makes him look taller as well. Doesn't it? It's like knitted sweater or something. All right, Marcus.
Marcus is here. All right, Marcus. Evening, chaps. Thought I'd check in for half hour in between packing boxes. Have a good one, and I'll try to watch back on Catch Up tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by, Marcus. I tell you what riled me up the other day. I don't know if you saw in our chat, Tim. That bloody David Mander's been at it again. He started commenting on Roy's videos. Now he was taking the mickey out of Marcus this time. Basically asking him why
matey, doesn't it?
Yeah, he was having a go at him for calling him matey. And I actually commented back, but I didn't know that apparently he doesn't ever reply to any of your...
Well, he might somebody answer mine, but he might...
He's a definition of a troll. Have you ever had any problems with him, Pete?
No.
No.
If you say VHS, he'll get on your back.
Yeah, he's slowly making his way around the channels. He started off, I think it was Sam and Stuart he started off with, and now he's gone to Roy. He's just slowly making his way around channels before they block him.
I had a comment from him about 6 months ago, but I just put something. He put, 2020, it must have been 24 at the time. Maybe it's just 25. 2025, VHS is so out of date and obsolete. How sad. And I put, I think it's more sad to spend your time commenting negative comments, David. Join a social club or something. And he didn't comment back to that. But it's like, I don't like Love Island. So rather than go on YouTube videos about Love Island and put hate about it, I just don't watch it. Don't tune in. It's easier. Yeah. If you know you don't like VHS, just don't watch videos about picking up VHS and you're not going to be upset. But yeah, obviously that Julie, I know she's been getting some trolls. So I'm assuming that's probably David Mander as well, right?
Yeah,
he's just horrible. The things he says are never that offensive. He's not like completely horrible of like, I've seen trolls, wishing death on people and swearing, whereas his is kind of, I kind of think maybe he's more joking. I don't think he really means it.
No,
he might just
because did you see the one he said to Roy? He said that Roy's hat, baseball cap was stupid. It's like, why do people wear hats and his tattoos are stupid or something like that.
Mm.
It's like, grow up.
Mm. And so also, if you've seen him, then yeah, people in glass
Yeah.
houses maybe shouldn't throw stones because he's not
Yeah.
exactly Brad Pitt, is he? You know?
No, yeah. He looks
What's
like
his name?
what's his name from Hannibal? Gary Oldman's
Mason
character.
Berger,
Yeah.
the one whose dog's face has been eaten off by a dog. Now I think he looks more like, I don't know if you remember the Harry Enfield and Chums. There was a guy in it called Paul Whitehouse. He kind of looks like
Oh, I
Paul
know Paul
Whitehouse if he
Whitehouse.
was,
Yeah,
if he was
I
affected
can
by
see that.
Chernobyl. Yeah, weird looking guy. So maybe I try not to go in on people's appearances, but I'm like, maybe don't be trolling people when
Don't
you've got a
attack
photo
other
of yourself
people.
looking like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
David says, are there any directors that, in your opinion, have never done a bad movie? For me, Michael Mann has a perfect record.
Did Michael Mann do To Live and Die in LA? Because I didn't love that.
No, that was Friedkin, wouldn't it? I think.
Yeah, I find that quite boring personally.
Michael Mann made The Keep, which sucks.
Yeah, I've heard that's bad.
He made the what?
The Keep.
Oh, I've not seen that. So.
And that's that one Stewart had that I think Stewart said was really bad.
I've got to say, because you're saying never done a bad move, I'm going to say Nolan. There's been films of his
Tenet.
that I've not. There's been films of his I've not loved, but I don't think he's ever done a bad. Even Tenet, I don't think it's a bad film. I just think it's one of. It's just. It's an average film, but it's not bad. It's the worst of the best, if you know what I mean.
So directors who have never made a bad film.
Wes Anderson.
Oh, every film is bad for me.
You don't
I'm
like
not
it?
a Wes Anderson person.
You can join the Stewart Club. Stewart will be pleased. You can be friends with Stewart because he hates Wes Anderson.
David Fincher, I'd say his
PTA?
least favorite film of mine is Alien 3, and it's not a bad film, but I just find it a bit boring.
Mank was crap, but other
What is
than
that? David Fincher? I haven't seen it.
yeah, Gary Oldman, that was crap. But all of his other films were brilliant. Yeah,
I'd say consistent.
Tarantino.
Would be Tarantino, because he's a writer director though, so it's when the film of his comes out, it's like an event.
Yeah,
Spielberg has never made.
1941.
Still not a bad movie. It's a very well made film.
Is it?
Yeah,
I've not seen it, so I can't. But I've heard just yeah.
So like 1941 is a very well made film. It might not be the fast that it was originally meant to be, and even The Lost World it's not as good as Jurassic Park, but it's a damn sight better than any.
Yeah,
other
I think it's
Jurassic
well
Park
underrated.
movie.
Lost World.
Yeah,
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Is there any that you didn't like? I can't think of one that I can say I really didn't like it.
I haven't seen every single Scorsese film.
I haven't either, but every film I've seen of his, I've liked.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there.
I've not seen a film where I thought, well, that was bad.
Some I find a bit long. I wouldn't say boring, but they are a bit long and hard watch. But yeah, I wouldn't say any of them are badly made.
That's it. That's his style. Like I'm one of those people that absolutely love Gangs of New York. It's 3 hours, but I absolutely love it.
What about Kubrick? I've not seen all of his films, but I can't say I've seen a bad one.
Kubrick has never made a bad film.
I agree, but I know a lot of people that don't like Eyes Wide Shut, but I really like it.
Eyes Wide Shut is a very good
it's
film.
weird content.
Yeah, I think a lot of people wanted something else as his final movie, which is why they
it's supposed to be AI, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And I think because his final film, obviously, if he hadn't died, it wouldn't have been his final film. But having a Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman movie as your final movie is not exactly going to set people alight, are they? So I think it's a very well-made movie. The only one I haven't seen is Barry Lyndon. I've
not seen that.
Yeah, but everything else, even from like the short black and white films that he made in the 1950s through to like The Killing and Lolita up to 2001: A Space Odyssey, even Spartacus. They're all incredible movies.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Alexander Payne? I can't think of a bad film he's done.
What has he
Can't think
made?
of any he's
Sideways?
done.
He did Election, About Schmidt, Sideways, The Descendants, Nebraska.
Descendants is awful.
You don't like The Descendants? Okay. It's not.
That's the
It's
film where
not a bad film though.
Emma Stone plays a native Hawaiian.
No, that's not The Descendants.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
No, that's George Clooney, The Descendants,
What's The Descendants?
with George Clooney, where his wife's in a coma.
I don't know. Think About Schmidt is the only film I've seen out of those, I think. That with Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
And Downsizing I really like as well. And obviously then The Holdovers.
Yeah, I want to see The Holdovers, but it's always still seemed to be really expensive on 4K and that.
Oh, it's a great. I just got the Blu-ray, but it's a great Christmas film.
Yeah, I'll get it before next Christmas.
Is Shailene Woodley in The Descendants? I think plays his
Woodley,
daughter.
yeah.
It's really good. If you, I don't know what film you were thinking of, but it's a really good film, The Descendants. It's one of George Clooney's best performances outside of Michael Clayton.
It's annoying me now because I know I'm trying to work out what film it is.
Emma Stone playing a Hawaiian. Oh, Aloha.
Is it that?
Yeah,
Isn't George Clooney in that as well?
That's Cameron Crowe.
But is George Clooney in that?
No, Bradley Cooper.
I don't know why. I don't know why I got them both confused.
But I would say if he hadn't have done that film, Cameron Crowe would be another one. I mean, Jerry Maguire, almost fake. Well, no, Elizabeth Town's not supposed to be great.
Elizabeth sounds okay.
Yeah.
Vanilla Sky is a mess.
Oh, I love Vanilla Sky, but it is messy.
He did do Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is a good film.
I've not seen that yet.
Didn't Roy say Vanilla Sky is based on an original French film or something?
I have no idea.
Oh, crap, what's it called?
I've heard the originals might be better than the Tom Cruise remake.
It had Penelope Cruz in it in the original. I think she's in the main one.
Sai has said the first 15 I went to see was Rambo in 1985. I was 11 years old. Jesus. I've always been tall for my age. Predator was my first 18. I was 13. Bloody hell. Lucky bastard.
Yeah, both classic.
Lucky. Yeah. Driver said, yeah, Tim, I didn't mind Clown. Seen it twice. Watched it the other day. It was all right, but the lead in it wasn't much of an actor. But I would put No One Lives other Clown.
Yeah, it's got quite strong. Without going into it too much, some of the sort of gore scenes and that are pretty tough. Some of those kind of clown films can be a bit silly or like cartoony, whereas no, it's quite sort of dark and harrowing. Special effects are good, but I've only seen it once. I remembered it being quite a sort of downbeat film, but wasn't great. Probably one I will watch again. I don't think I own it. I think I had it on DVD and traded it in years ago once I watched it, but I've seen worse as far as horror films go.
He also says, I watched Bone Collector. Both. Huh?
Both.
Collector films. Yeah, the Collector films the other week. I really liked the first one. But every time I see the second one, I don't really know what I think about it, but I think the first one is a good film. Yeah, I didn't know those films.
The second one's got a really good opening shot in this club, is all I'm going to say, but it don't live up to the first. But the first is called The Collector. I think it's one of the best horror films of the last 20 years. Kind of a bit like Saw, but it's not sort of got the gory aspects. It's a guy who goes into people's houses. See if I can find it. Sets traps and things.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there it is. The Collector. Well, I think you might get on with it, Ollie. It's gory, but it's not, hostile, kind of over the top, like torture porn. But the actual acting and stuff's really good. It's got what's his name? the main guy in it, I think it must be Josh Stewart.
Yeah.
Directed by Marcus Dunstan. Yeah, I think there's meant to be a third one coming out called The Collection or something. The Collected, I think the third one's going to be called. But yeah, similar to Saw, but I'd say it's better than like the Saw film. But
Yeah.
it's got gore, but I think it's never over the top. It's done in quite a tasteful way. So yeah, you might get on with that, Ollie. But yeah, I do agree. The Collector, one of the best horror films of recent times.
Nice. David has said, most overrated Tarantino film. Mine is Django. By a long shot for me, it would be the Kill Bill films. Very overrated. What about you guys?
Kill Bill Volume 2.
Yeah.
Kill Bill Volume 1 is
I like
great.
Kill Bill just because I like martial arts films, but yeah, number 2, can't remember too much about it. I wasn't a massive fan of Jackie Brown. Wouldn't say it's overrated because I don't think anybody's saying it's the best, but that's probably my least favourite Tarantino, Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
I think Jackie Brown's probably the most underrated.
Yeah,
maybe.
agree,
Yeah,
yeah.
everyone seems to sort of look down on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ollie, you should watch Orphan. It's awesome. Yeah, I've heard that's a pretty good one, actually.
What a good twist as well.
Yeah. Death Trap. That is the Sidney Lumet film, which is
I
a
think
good film.
Tarantino did a Death Trap, like one of his early. It's maybe his first.
That's,
I don't know.
no, that's Death Proof, isn't it?
Death Race.
That's different. No, Death Proof was Tarantino, I think.
Oh, Death Proof. Sorry.
Death Trap's the Sidney Lumet murder mystery film from the early 80s with Michael Caine and Christopher Reeve. That's really good. Really like that one.
I have that in my premium collection at the top. I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. Another good answer. Clint Eastwood has a good record. He does. Yeah, there aren't many films he's directed that have been duds. Not that I can think of, anyway.
I think it was like 2 in the early 80s that didn't do too well, which were City Heat and Bronco Billy. Yeah. City Heat and Bronco Billy were 2 that weren't big hits. I don't think Pink Cadillac was a big hit, but it's a fun film.
Yeah. Edgar Wright has a good record too.
But then I guess he only has done 4 or 5 films, so it's easier to have a good record when you haven't done too many films.
I really like, obviously, Shaun of the Dead. Really like Hot Fuzz. I haven't seen Scott Pilgrim for a long time, so I need to rewatch it. But I remember that being a lot of fun. The World's End is really good. Baby Driver's a lot of fun. I really liked Last Night in Soho as well. So yeah, I'd say I've not seen a film that I've not liked from him.
Spaced was really good. The sitcom he did before Shaun of the Dead, if anyone seen
that.
Yeah, so I like that.
That was my first introduction to Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
That big train.
Yeah. So says I only like 4 Scorsese films. The rest are average at best, but mostly crap, in my honest opinion. I would be interested to hear the 4 Scorsese films that you like and the ones that you really don't like. That would be interesting because, like I said, I've not seen a Scorsese film I've not liked so far.
Did you do Once Upon a Time in America?
That was Sergio Leone, wasn't it?
Leone.
It's good, but I find that quite long. I think that's like 4 hours, isn't it?
That's not the full version either.
Yeah.
Well, I've got it on DVD and it's on 2 discs, and each one's like over 2 hours on each disc, I think.
Yeah. Do you like Drive?
Film ever made.
What was that?
Yeah, Drive is amazing.
Yeah, Drive.
Once Upon a Time in America is the greatest gangster film ever made.
I've not seen it yet. I need to watch it. It's out of print now, though, isn't it? That's the only thing. Yeah. Do you like Drive with Ryan Gosling? I've not seen it yet, but I think, Tim, you said it was good.
Yeah, really. I think the whole thing kind of sounds a bit cliche to say, but it kind of feels a bit like a music video, the way it's shot. Most of it is really... I think you'd like it, Ollie, but there is one scene in the elevator, is all I'm going to say, which is quite strong. If you found some stuff in Kill List hard to watch, then there's one stomping scene, is all I'm going to say. Right, you might find it a bit hard to watch, but the rest of it's not too much. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
got a really good style to it, the way it's shot. And
Yeah. I've always wanted to watch it. Yeah,
Drive is a very
I'm a-
cool film.
I really like Albert Brooks as well, and I know he's in that.
He's great in that film.
Is he?
Mm.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
me want to watch it even more. My least favorite and bad Scorsese film is Bringing Out the Dead. I really want to watch that because I love Nick Cage, and I've heard it's quite good actually. But then again, all film is subjective, so you never know. Do you like Blade and Underworld? Blade, yes, I did enjoy Blade. I've not seen Underworld though.
Blade
Don't know.
1 and
First
2.
Underworld film was good with Kate Beckinsale, wasn't it? With like
Yeah.
werewolves and vampires. Yeah, I can't remember it. I watched it years and years ago, but quite good. But yeah, Blade, all three of Blade 3, I think, is not good, but Blade 2, I think, is the one done by Guillermo del Toro, is quite good. But
Yeah.
yeah, the first Blade, I think, is the best. They were on about doing a new Blade film, or did they do one on Netflix or
They
something?
cancelled it.
cancelled that, yeah.
Oh, right. Was it's not going to have Wesley Snipes anymore, was it? I don't
I
think.
think that's the reason they cancelled it, because
Oh.
they brought Wesley Snipes back for
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine, and everybody
Yeah.
just was like, right, we need a Blade movie with Wesley
And
Snipes.
it's likely that he'll be back for one of the 2 Avengers films as well, because yeah. So I said I meant Death Proof. I'm special. Yeah, I've not seen Death Proof, but yeah, I have heard that's like one of Tarantino's weakest films, but some people still really like it.
Kind of like a low budget grindhouse kind of one, isn't it?
Yeah. 4 Scorsese films are like Raging Bull, not seen yet. Goodfellas, yeah, top 3 for me, I think. Cape Fear, that's a strong one, and Casino, yeah, that's another really good one.
Yeah, Raging Bull, I think, is the best.
Spectre
Taxi
2023 said Vanilla Sky is a remake of Open Your Eyes.
Oh yeah, that's it.
There you
Yeah.
go. Sai saying Tony Scott is probably the most consistent director in terms of quality. We were saying this last week because I was of the opinion I much prefer Tony Scott over Ridley Scott, and everyone was up in arms saying, "Oh, how could you like him more?" It's like, because for me, he's done better films than Ridley Scott. Films that have
probably more consistent. But I think
more consistent.
Ridley's had the higher high points.
Yeah, but I think Tony Scott has done hit after hit after hit. And you could just list them off, like loads of them. 80s, he dominated the 80s and 90s. So,
I think he's more consistent, but I don't think even his best film is up there with Blade Runner or Alien.
No,
or
but he's done
Gladiator
more
in terms of Ridley
better
Scott.
films, like more betterly consistent films. Yeah.
I don't think he's made any horrible.
I would say Tony Scott's best film by a long shot is probably True Romance.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, some of the best dialogue I've ever heard in a film. But I think it's written by Tarantino, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then I'm a big fan of Beverly Hills Cop 2. I really like Top Gun. I like The Last Boy Scout. So he's got a consistently entertaining back catalogue, as opposed to Ridley Scott, who, like Alien, Blade Runner, I'm not a fan of. I find it boring. But then he didn't really do anything of massive.
Until Gladiator.
Until Gladiator,
well,
Thelma
Black
and
Rain,
Louise,
I think, is a very good film, a massively underrated Ridley Scott movie. But the 90s, he was barely about. It was only until Gladiator was the big one in 2000,
and then again
he had like A Beautiful Mind, American Gangster.
A Beautiful Mind was
he did a Robin Hood film, didn't he?
Not Ron Howard. It was the other one he did with Russell Crowe. I can't remember what it was called. Something like
A Good Year.
A Good Year. That's the one. I was getting them confused.
In France with Albert Finney.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Did you know Vinnie Jones was going to be in Deadpool 3? I'm guessing he was going to play the Juggernaut again. Yeah.
They asked him, and he asked for too much money, so they told him to.
Did he? Fair enough. Do you like the Fear Street trilogy? Never seen them. You guys seen them?
No.
I think it's like a Netflix exclusive kind of teen horror. I think I watched them years ago. I think one part was good, was maybe set in the modern day, but then there was one set back in like the day of Salem witches and one in the
One in the
80s. I don't
80s,
think
yeah.
they are kind
Yeah.
of teeny sort of horror. So yeah, I think one of them was okay, but they weren't great. But
Yeah. Right, we'll move on to our next topic, which is the movie news roundup. We've not got as many topics this week to talk about, but we'll get started with the first one, which for me is thumbs up good news. James Gunn has officially announced that a Wonder Woman film is officially happening without Gal Gadot, which I think is the best news. I think you could get a piece of wood to act better than her. Get a better performance out of a piece of wood, quite literally. She's just so bad.
Shit.
So yeah, I'm glad with that. What do you guys think of that?
She's crap in everything. Every
Yeah,
single film
I agree.
she's in.
I've not seen one thing with her in this. She's
No.
given a good performance. I mean, the second Wonder Woman film, that scene where she jumps on the truck, and she is it's literally, it's like she's like trying to make Pedro Pascal looks like he's dying because of the way that she's talking to him, because she's making him fall asleep because she's so, I don't know how just other than her looks. I'm sorry, but I don't know why she's still being cast in things, because she is not a good actor.
Because of her looks.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, but yeah. Tim, what do you think?
I don't think I've seen anything with her in, so I do own Wonder Woman. Never got round to watching it. Not
She's
heard
in
great
some of the
things
Fast
about.
and Furious films.
Yeah, I've not seen most of those. Not really my kind of thing. I think she might be real bad in the Wicked. Is she in that new Wicked thing?
Snow White.
Might Snow White. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've really seen anything with her in. To tell you the truth, I heard Wonder Woman was okay. Bought it, and then that's when I kind of got the fatigue of all the like superhero films at the time. So I just never got round to watching it. But yeah, she seems a really horrible person as well in real life.
Yeah, who would you like to see play Wonder Woman then? That's the next question. Any idea who you'd want to see play Wonder Woman? I'm just going to say an unknown, because at the moment I can't visualize anyone that could play Wonder Woman perfectly. So I think they need to get someone that's not really that well known.
Depends. I guess you could put someone at their comfort zone and get them to play it.
I'll throw this in the ring. What about Haley Steinfeld?
Yeah, she'd be good.
No.
Samara Weaving, probably not her normal kind of role.
No,
but I think
she's too
blonde.
Samara Weaving would have made a great Supergirl.
Yeah, I agree.
Mia Goth.
No.
She's signed up for the Marvel.
Yeah, she has, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I've only seen her in like the Pearl and X kind of films.
Well, she was supposed to star in Blade, so that makes sense. No, the only one that I could think of that I can see as Wonder Woman is Haley Steinfeld. She's kind of got that look and that physique. And she's the right age as well. She can't have someone too young. No thoughts. No one.
I can't think of anyone who would.
That's
fit.
why I said someone unknown would probably be quite good. Yeah. The next topic, Pete might like this one. Gareth Evans has set up his next film. He is going to direct a remake of A Cult Is My Passport, which is a Yakuza noir film. Thoughts, Pete?
It's Gareth Evans. I'll watch anything he makes, even if it's good or bad.
Yeah, agree. What do you
fellow
think?
Welshman, I have to support him.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. Anything to do with Yakuza or noir or sort of, I guess it won't be world cinema, will it? It'd be like English language, but yeah, sounds interesting. Yeah, I don't know what films he's done. I've heard the name, but I don't know too many films by him.
Both Raid films.
Oh yeah, I love the Raid films. Yeah. Raid 1, some of the best fighting scenes of any film I've ever seen.
Yeah, good director. But yeah, like Pete, I'll watch anything he does because I've loved everything he's done so far. So,
like even Havoc. Have you seen Havoc yet, Ollie?
I've seen it. Yeah, Really like that.
Havoc.
I think that's the
Night
one
Club's
Stuart
better.
said he watched in silent on the plane, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he messaged us. He said he didn't want to watch it because it's Netflix, but there was the bloke in front of him had it on, so he just watched it and just in silence, so he didn't know what they were saying. But he watched. He said, "Oh yeah, it looked pretty decent." I said, "Why don't you just like get a bootleg if you're so against streaming?" "Oh no, I couldn't do that," he said. But he's
Might get a release
basically
one
seen
day.
the whole film and he said that he liked it. So
Yeah, I mean,
there are
it's
some gems.
it's good. It could have been better.
It could have, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
But that
but
nightclub
yeah, it
scene
was
was
still
the
a
standout.
yeah.
Yeah. Next up, Robert Eggers this time. Robert Eggers has signed on to direct A Christmas Carol, starring Willem Dafoe as Scrooge. What do people think of that? I think it's quite good because I think Christmas Carol is quite a dark story and it could fit
Yeah.
his tone quite well if it's done right. And it could be different to any Christmas Carol. Might be similar in vein to the one that Guy Pearce did on TV a few years ago, the Stephen Knight adaptation, which I really enjoyed, which was quite dark. Could be a bit like that, but I'm interested. I'd like to see more Christmas films out there. So,
I just don't
what do you
think it
guys
needs
think?
to be done again.
It's been done so many times. That is the thing, isn't it?
And the Muppets is the best one.
I do love the Muppets Christmas Carol. Michael Caine as Scrooge. Oh,
I mean that for a Muppet movie, that is a dark movie.
oh yeah.
So yeah, I haven't watched a single Robert Eggers movie.
No. What do you think, Tim?
Seems a bit weird. I mean, it's good. He's sort of, I won't say come out of his comfort zone, but obviously where he's done The Lighthouse and that aren't horror, but they're quite surreal, bizarre, dark films. So yeah, good to see him come away from. I guess it's still a period piece. All of his films have been period films, really, aren't they? Nosferatu,
Yeah.
The Northman, The Witch. They've all been set like hundreds of years ago, really. So I guess it's not that surprising he do it. I thought he was doing Frankenstein, or is that Guillermo del Toro?
That's Del Toro.
Doing,
Yeah.
right, doing the new
He's doing a
Frankenstein.
werewolf.
I think he would have done a good version of Frankenstein.
His next film's a
Robert
werewolf
Eggers.
film, which is
Right.
coming out next Christmas.
Yeah, I guess it
So-
kind of suits him. But like Pete says, do you really need any more? Not only the
Yeah.
Muppets one, but obviously you've got the Albert Finney Scrooge, the George C. Scott version. Like, is it going to be better than those ones? Probably
Alistair
not.
Sim one's brilliant as
yeah,
well.
probably the most famous
Black
one.
and white.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
I think that's the one I watched as a
animated.
kid the most. Yeah.
Jim Carrey. Do you
Yeah, I
like
mean,
the
it might
Jim Carrey
surprise you.
one?
Maybe you'll make it a bit darker and make the ghosts a bit more like scary or something.
Yeah.
Knowing Robert Eggers, but
Also,
yeah, I guess it
Scrooge.
suits him being a period piece. But I don't really see that needs to be done.
Did you say you like the Jim Carrey one, Pete?
No, I said there is the Jim Carrey one as
Oh,
well.
right, not really.
Yeah, I do quite like that one because it's Zemeckis and I love Zemeckis. Yeah. Next up, Scorsese is going to shoot his Life of Jesus film in black and white. Do you think that's a good choice, shooting Scorsese shooting a film in black and white? Obviously, he's had success doing it before. Do you think it will add to the film? Because obviously nowadays, shooting in black and white can add to a film differently. And what's your thoughts on him tackling Jesus for a second time?
I just don't see the point. He did
Yeah.
what was it? Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mel Gibson did The Passion of the Christ, and
And
there's
he's also done.
countless stories of Jesus's life in
Yeah.
the film. So it just seems like a pointless.
He did
endeavor.
Silence as well, didn't he? Which is
Yeah.
like a religious film. Yeah, I've not seen that actually. What do you think, Tim?
I've seen The Passion of the Christ, and I do like that. It's not only a well-made film, but quite more sort of harrowing. And I thought it not just the stuff that happens to Jesus, but when you see Satan and that, it's quite a creepy, disturbing film, I thought. But yeah, someone that's an atheist and that, I'm not really interested in seeing any films to do with Jesus or any religious characters, to tell you the truth. I think, without being harsh to people that are religious, maybe 30, 50 years ago when a lot of those were getting made, a lot more people in Britain were Christian and that, whereas now I don't think there's really as much of a market is there for, or America, but in general, I don't think people are really crying out for more religious films.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing. If, like, in America, America is a massive religious country.
Yeah, they are still quite religious there, aren't they? Yeah.
And they'll all be like, "Oh, it's a movie about Jesus," and then when it comes out, they'll all picket it because it's blasphemous, even though it's
Yeah.
probably a normal story of Jesus. I mean, Ridley Scott, was it Ridley Scott did one as well? Which is no,
Sure.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. No, I was thinking I was getting it mixed with Exodus and Kingdom of Heaven, which are all around the same era type of thing. But I mean, it would be interesting if he did the story of Jesus but framed it as a gangster film.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a bit different, and it wouldn't look like every other religious movie that's come out.
Yeah. Last one. I think everyone will have thoughts on this. I'm a bit mixed on it. Spaceballs 2 is officially happening. 2027 release. Original cast coming back. Obviously not John Candy. But yeah. What do you guys think? As not being a huge fan of the original, I'm interested more than anything to see Rick Moranis come out of retirement. Because he's almost done it quite a few times in the last few years. So hopefully he actually does it this time. And good on Mel Brooks. I mean, what is he, 97, 98 now?
98.
Still going, still producing, and he's going to act in it. I mean, that's something. Yeah, so I will definitely be watching that. My seat will definitely be in the cinema for that one. What about you guys?
I love Spaceballs, so any Mel Brooks stuff that comes out is a blessing.
Yeah. Tim?
So yeah, I seen the original Spaceballs as a kid, and I remember really enjoying it. And obviously, I was a big fan of Star Wars and that at the time. And I remember John Candy playing like the Chewbacca. Who's the young guy that plays Han Solo?
Bill Pullman.
No, it's Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
He's coming back.
Yeah, I remember really liking it, but when I've been talking about it in the group a lot, I think Stuart and other people have said they really hate it and don't like it. So maybe if I watched it now, I might not enjoy it as an adult. I think it is on Netflix or Prime, so I could go back and watch it. But yeah, I used to like it, but I'd have to watch it again as an adult. But I think, is it just going to be a sequel to the first one? Because I think what they may be better to do, if it's going to be a parody, maybe parody The Rise of Skywalker or whatever that worst one was. And it just gives you so much more.
Yeah, the teaser's already like, it's already captured what the film's going to be. The teaser, and it's not even like any footage of the film. It's just like your Star Wars scroll taking the piss out of all of the sequels and reboots and shit stuff that's like they've Hollywood.
I guess it's kind of easier nowadays. Obviously, when that came out, it was probably only just the part 4, 5, and 6, which were all solid films, and they still did a good job of sort of satire in it. Whereas, yeah, nowadays with some of the crap Star Wars things that's come out recently, you think they've got a wealth of material to use to sort of take the piss out of. But yeah, I mean, I'll give it a go. Like you say, Rick Moranis. So I don't think he's done a film since, was it like Ghostbusters or Honey, I Blew Up the Kid or something? Was his
Little Giants was his last one, I think.
Giants.
Because he really went into retirement. His wife was ill and he had to look after the kids or something.
Big Bully was his last film.
That was it, yeah. Little Giants, and then it was Big Bully,
yeah. There's a really good story about Spaceballs, is how Mel Brooks was able to do it, because he asked George Lucas for permission to be able to do Spaceballs, and George Lucas said, "Yes, you can do it as long as you don't sell any merchandise." So there's the scene in Spaceballs where they meet Yoga, who is the obviously the Mel Brooks version of Yoda, and he does the whole thing about merchandise, which is why he was able to get away with making the film, because they didn't sell any toys or anything after that. It's really cool. I love Spaceballs. I really.
Yeah, I have to watch it again as an adult, because I literally haven't watched it since I was 10 years old. But as a kid, we used to love it, and me and my mate would watch it every time we like slept round his house, kind of thing. But yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time, to tell you the truth.
I think now I've seen the original trilogy of Star Wars, I might appreciate Spaceballs a bit more now, so I might have to watch that one again. Driver72 said, That wasn't the case. Vinny didn't come back because of the muscle suit he wear in X3. Plus, Vinny had a hard time making X-Men 3 because he was going to do 3 and he was actually going to be the villain in it. Oh, fair enough. Didn't know that. So I said, there's more wood in Gal Gadot's acting than one of the pirate ships from Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, I agree with that. Oh, I think Pete's dropped off. See, hopefully he comes back. Adria Arjona as Wonder Woman. She's good looking, but I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe. Alexandra Daddario would be a good Wonder Woman. She's probably the closest actress to look like Linda Carter. But, and this is a big but, she's not the best actress. She's not a strong actress, I think. She looks the part, but I don't know if she can play the part. Robert Eggers is a great director. Lighthouse is one of the best horror films of the past 9 years, but I think my favourite horror movies of 21st century is House of Wax, Trick or Treat, Orphan, Fear Street. Nice.
Trick or Treat, amazing. One of my favourite Halloween films ever.
Yeah. Spectre says, which movie would give a sequel to that never received one, and which movie sequel would you erase? Oh, Independence Day would definitely get erased because we don't need a sequel to Independence Day. And what would you get? There's so many films that should have got a sequel. There are so many films that Real Steel, that should have got a sequel. I don't know why that never got a sequel. I've not seen it, but I've heard Dread with Carl Urban. That's all. That does. Apparently,
that's really one of my favourite action films of modern times.
There's a lot of films that should have got a sequel, but just never have because Hollywood just isn't interested. I'm just trying to look.
The Warriors, did that ever get a sequel? I don't know if you know the old late
the
70s. It must be The Warriors.
Oh, The Warriors, yeah.
I don't think that ever got a sequel, but probably could have done. Maybe not nowadays, but maybe like years ago.
I'd have loved to have seen Nick Cave's version of Gladiator 2. I will say that. Because that script, I've read some of that script, and that script's wild.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Spawn. I would have given that a sequel.
Never seen that one.
What's that?
Oh, LA Confidential. Because they were supposed to be doing a sequel to that, and they never did. So, I would, yeah. Apparently, the sequel was going to be set 20 years later, and it was going to have Chadwick Boseman in it. Obviously, Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce. But obviously, it never got made because, obviously, of Chadwick Boseman's passing. But they were getting ready to do that, I think. So
which one's that?
LA Confidential.
That would Kevin Spacey.
Russell Crowe said it was one of the characters he wanted to revisit. That and Jackson Healy from The Nice Guys, which definitely needed a sequel.
Yes, that is calling for a sequel. Even Emily Blunt said in an interview last year she did with Ryan Gosling, she would love to be in that sequel. And they were like, she was like, anything that they need to do. I think all the actors are. I think Shane Black wants to do it. I have no idea why they've not greenlit a sequel for that. Such a good film.
Superbad, I think, would have had a good sequel.
Yeah.
Don't think I ever got one, did it? Probably too long gone now.
Trying to think. Can't think of anything else, to be honest.
Super 8. Well, that was really good and never.
Yeah,
I think JJ actually made anything as good since the Super 8. I think
Super 8 stands as on its own. I don't think it necessarily needs a sequel. It's a great original film.
Well, yeah, I mean, Super 8 ends, so it's not like technically left open for a sequel, is it?
Yeah, it has a definitive ending. Yeah.
Trying to think of some they shouldn't have done. I think they should have just left it a one Crow film, and obviously they did Crow 2, Lost Boys 2 and 3. I've never seen, but heard were pretty bad.
There's a Kindergarten Cop 2.
No, right, never heard of that.
There's a
with Dolph
backdraft.
Lundgren.
There's a backdraft too as well.
There
That
is,
should
yeah.
be made.
S. Darko isn't very good. The sequel to Donnie Darko, probably should have left it at that because it's his sister in it called Samantha, I think.
The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Yes.
Awful film.
I'm glad you said that because that didn't have any right to be made. The Escape Plan sequels didn't need to be made.
Pointless.
This is going to be a controversial one, but I have mentioned this in my weekly watches. The Rambo sequels don't need the Rambo sequels.
I think they're still good films, but it's not as good as First Blood.
They're fun, but they're not needed off the bat. The first one, none of them stand up to the first one, so they're not necessary.
The first one's not even an action movie; it's a survival movie.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, he's a severely PTSD'd Vietnam vet. Yeah, in the second film, he's Rambo.
RoboCop films probably shouldn't have needed a sequel.
The what ones?
RoboCop 2 and 3.
Well, RoboCop 2 is okay.
Yeah, it's not awful.
I don't mind it. RoboCop 3 should never have been made.
No, that's an abomination.
Yeah, that's some of them. Films that should have got a sequel: Tango and Cash. Yes. One that should be erased. The ones we obviously forgotten. The Star Wars sequels. Yeah. Did you know the original title for Spaceballs 2 was going to be Spaceballs 3: The Search for Spaceballs 2? That's genius. That is genius.
The original title for Spaceballs 2 would have been Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money. That's what he says in the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is what they came out with a couple of years ago to say that it was going to be Spaceballs 3: The Search for Spaceballs 2.
That is genius, though, isn't it? Did you guys see Heart Eyes and Until Dawn? I have got Heart Eyes to watch. I've not seen it yet, and I've not seen Until Dawn, but I've heard it's not actually that bad, so I might watch that at some point. Have you seen either of those, Pete?
I haven't seen either of them. I really want to see Heart Eyes, and one of the guys in work said Until Dawn was really good, and I really like the game, so I'll give it a try.
I just saw your comment. My laptop just blue screened on me.
It did. It's completely died.
Oh dear. Movie Tramp said, "Hi all, have a fun discussion. Anybody seen Emperor of the North Pole? Lee Marvin and Ernest Borgnine, classic depression set train film, 1973. It sounds good, but no, I've not heard of that one. Have either of you guys seen that one?"
Yeah, I recommended it in my 70s.
Did you? Yeah.
Video. It's a great film.
I have to check that one out.
Brutal movie.
Yeah. And then he's just repeated the comment. Right. We will move on to our main topic, which Pete has come up with us for this week. We're going to be talking about the year of 1995 in film. I think the easiest way to do this, because we've obviously both got lists, if we do one, then one, because there will definitely be some crossover. So if we do one each, then that way we might get the different ones and get through them all. Do it that way, see how it works. So do you want to go with your first film?
Yeah, I'm just bringing up my list from when my my laptop rebooted. 1995 has so many good movies.
Oh, it was insane when I was looking.
When I was looking, I was like, Jesus, there were so many good films. There was a lot of crap.
Yeah,
but there was also a lot of the stuff that came out. Some of the crap. So, what can I choose?
I'm just going to go off my list through release date.
I'll tell you, Ollie, you go first.
Yeah.
While I look.
First one I've not seen, but I've heard is a really good but really hard watch, especially the end. It's called Higher Learning. It's a John Singleton film. I think Tupac's in it, if I remember rightly, and Ice Cube. Is it is it Jennifer Connelly?
I can't remember.
But there's a bit at the end which I've seen a clip of on YouTube, which is harrowing. But that I've heard is a pretty good film. I don't know if have you seen that one, Pete?
A long time ago. If it's the one I'm thinking of, the ending.
The shooting.
It is, yeah, with Michael
Yeah.
Rappaport.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen it, but it's been a long time since I
Yeah.
watched that.
Have you seen that one, Tim?
No, not even. I think I've heard of it, but I think we know what it's about. No.
Yeah. Fair enough. What's your first one, Pete?
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I've got that in the pile here. I'll grab that out. Yeah. Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yeah.
Second best Die Hard movie.
Oh, I don't know. I do love Die Hard 2.
Die Hard 2 is fun, but Die Hard with a Vengeance is the second best Die Hard movie.
I haven't seen it for years, so I think if I rewatched it, I could agree with you there because I've watched the first two Die Hard films. I watched them every Christmas, so I got them in my head, but I've not seen Die Hard with a Vengeance for years. But I do
Is that where
remember
they're
it being
driving
a good
around in
film.
like a car trying to defuse bombs?
In the
or something?
taxi, yeah, with
Yeah,
Zoom.
You've got Bruce Willis, like peak 90s Bruce Willis. This
Yeah.
is the film that came out just after Last Boy Scout. You've got post Pulp Fiction Samuel L. Jackson in a co-lead role. You've got Jeremy Irons as a brilliant pantomime villain. You've also got the returning director of
John
John
McTiernan,
McTiernan,
yeah.
and the whole using the entirety of New York as a setting is brilliant when you think that the first two films were set in single locations. So the first one is the Nakatomi Plaza, the second one is the Dulles Airport, and then with Die Hard with a Vengeance, it expands to the whole of New York. So from like Manhattan Island to Harlem to where like just further outside of New York City. Yeah, it's such a good film, and the action is insane in that film, and it's got a really great ending as well. So yeah,
I'll have to rewatch that. Yeah. My next one is Before Sunrise, which I haven't actually seen yet, but I've heard that's a great trilogy.
yeah, I've got that on my list as well. I haven't seen it either, but it's a very popular film.
Yeah, Linklater film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen that one, Tim?
No, what's the trilogy though? What's the other
The
films?
Before trilogy. I think it's Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight.
Oh, I've not seen any of those.
Yeah, all Ethan Hawke and Patricia Arquette.
Oh,
no,
yeah, I like
Judy
Ethan
Delpy.
Hawke.
Yeah, Patricia Arquette was Boyhood, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so yeah, that was the next one on my list. What's on your list next?
The Heavyweights.
Oh yeah, I got that one on my list as well.
Disney
Yeah,
movie with 90% of the Mighty Ducks cast and
Yeah.
Ben Stiller as Tony Perkis, a crazy physical activity guy who takes over a summer camp full of fat kids and just turns it mental. It's so funny. Such a good like kids movie. Would never get made today. A movie about a fat camp and a bunch of fat kids. Would
Yeah.
never get made now. But yeah, really good. That and around the same time, like the Mighty Ducks and stuff. Great
Oh
film.
yeah, I love the
Really
Mighty
funny.
Ducks.
Yeah, no, I've not seen that one, but it's one I've always wanted to watch. I am a Ben Stiller fan, so
Ben
Yeah.
Stiller's great in it.
yeah, I will try and track that one down. Next up is one of probably a bad sequel. It did come out in 1995, and it's Highlander: The Final Dimension.
Oof, I
you
didn't put that
seen
on my
that
list. I left that off on purpose because it's crap.
We've got to talk about the bad ones as well, though.
That's the one with Mario Van Peebles as the villain. I think the sorcerer or something. It's not a good film. I have it on DVD somewhere. I ended up buying a Region 1 DVD because it wasn't available. And
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't bought it because it's an awful movie.
Yeah. Have you seen that one, Tim?
No, I've seen part one. Think I've seen part two. Didn't even know there was a third one, to tell you the truth. I've seen a few things of Mario Van Peebles. Never been a great actor, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, I can't say I've seen first Highlander, amazing film. But yeah, I can't remember the second one. But yeah, I don't think I've seen the third. I remember there was a series on when I was a kid, probably on like Sky One, where
Yeah.
it was like weekly kind of episode show, a bit like Hercules and Xena. I can't remember that being too bad. Go watch it now. It might be sort of bad in hindsight, but yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Highlander 3, to tell you the truth. No.
Yeah. No, I've never seen that one, so can't really comment on it. What's your next one, Pete?
My next one is Judge Dredd with Sylvester
Yeah,
Stallone.
that was on my list. Yeah.
Love that movie. I actually prefer it over Dredd.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
And I
Is
like
it,
Dredd. I think Dredd's a really good film. But there's, I remember watching Judge Dredd for the first time in 1996 on VHS, and I loved it. It was such a cheesy movie.
Is Steve
yeah,
Buscemi
the
in
proper
that one?
comic book film, isn't it?
No, it's
Who's the one that's this like sidekick that's with him?
Rob Schneider.
That's it. 'Cause
Rob
he's-
Schneider got the job on that because he worked with Stallone on Demolition Man, and they got
Right,
on
yeah.
quite well. So we offered him a part in the Dredd film. What I love about that movie is that Sylvester Stallone had no interest in the comic book whatsoever. Didn't really care about it, which is why he has the helmet off for 90% of the film. Because he just didn't care about the character. He just wanted to make a sci-fi movie, and it's sad because he kind of ruined the director's career. So the director is Danny Cannon, and that was his first feature-length movie, like his first big Hollywood movie. And Stallone took over and kind of pushed him out of the edit room and took over directing, and it kind of ended Danny Cannon's career as a big studio filmmaker. But when you look at the film itself, the production design, the costumes are done by Jean-Paul Gaultier. The visual effects, like the practical visual effects, are insane. They've got the ABC robot, and they've got the guns, like the lawgivers, the bikes. Great movie, and it's got a really good score by Alan Silvestri as well.
Yeah, I have to check that one out.
Is it out of print, Pete? Because it's one I've watched it loads of times as a kid, but you just never really see it around on like DVD or Blu-ray nowadays.
The Blu-ray, we've never had a Blu-ray in the UK.
Oh, right.
I had to buy a Blu-ray from Germany, and it did have a DVD, but I think the DVD is out of print.
Say I never see it in CX or anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember. I haven't seen it in years, but I do remember enjoying it. But yeah, it's like a proper comic book film. Some of these comic books, they try and adapt them. And Judge Dredd was quite a dark comic book on it originally. Whereas, a lot of them, they try and take like fun comic books and make them too serious. Whereas, I do remember it being a proper comic book film. I remember, was it Ron Perlman played like one of the cannibals? There was these like two, Ming was he called?
Was it? It's
like
the
cannibal guy.
three brothers.
And I remember they being pretty creepy. I can vaguely remember Ron Perlman in it, but maybe he wasn't. But I remember it being fun, a bit sort of cheesy, but
it was. I was Christopher Adamson played Mean Machine, which is the big guy, and Ewan Bremner from Trainspotting was the other one. There was one called but it's a silly film, but it's a fun movie.
Yeah. Next up on my list is In the Mouth of Madness, John Carpenter film. You guys seen that one? I've not seen that one before.
Great movie.
I think it's one of his underrated films, personally.
Sam Neill in it.
Sam Neill.
It's got some creepy imagery. He's riding along in the car, and there's this old lady, I think it is, on a bike riding along. Yeah, it's quite a high concept, really. Who reads Sutter Kane? One of the last Carpenter films I seen. I think that and Prince of Darkness are always the two that kind of get overlooked. Whereas, I think it's quite an underrated one. It's quite a good film. Yeah,
it's very close to H.P. Lovecraft. So it's like the nearest anyone's ever got to making a full H.P. Lovecraft movie while not actually being a Lovecraft film.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Yeah, very surreal and bizarre, isn't it?
Nice. What's your next pick, Pete?
My next pick is Species
Oh yeah, that was on my list, I think, but I've not seen it.
with Natasha Henstridge. That is a film that was paused and rewound many, many times when I was a teenager. Great mid-90s sci-fi horror movie with production design and character design by H.R. Giger, who did the alien design. It's got a great cast in it with Ben Kingsley and Michael Madsen, Natasha Henstridge. Just a fun, like, violent 90s sci-fi movie. And it's got a very young Michelle Williams in it as well, who she played the younger version of Syl, which is the name of the alien character played by the older Natasha Henstridge. Should check it out. I know that
Pete.
There's Species 2, which is a direct sequel to the first one, and it's got like Michael Madsen in it as well. And then there are crappy straight to DVD Sci-Fi Channel sequels. But
I think the 4K is coming out soon, isn't it?
The 4K. I think
I'm going to get that.
Yeah, I want to get that as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I was a teenager, but not only a good sort of creature feature teenage film, but like you say, I think a lot of teenagers just like the main lady in it.
Yeah.
Next on my list is Billy Madison. I can comment on this one because I have seen it. I'm a sucker for a 90s Adam Sandler film. I know they're not very high in quality. They're stupid, but I find them funny. And Billy Madison, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember finding it funny because it's just so stupid. Just his whole character and the situation he's in is just so stupid. It's funny, but I know they're not for everyone. What do you guys think of that one?
So Billy Madison is quoted on a daily basis in my flat between me and my brother. We have seen that film so many times. It's so funny. It was only for the first time, I think it was like a couple of years ago, that I saw the uncut version of it where he uses the F word, and I'd never seen that in a previous release. I think it had been edited out.
Yeah.
And it kind of threw me off. I was like, I've seen this film like 100 times and I've never heard him say fuck. And yeah, it's such a silly film. And like I said, it's quoted early Adam Sandler movies like Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, the Mr. Deeds and Big Daddy.
The Wedding Singer.
The Wedding Singer. We're just fans of. I love 90s Adam Sandler.
Yeah, me too. Tim?
I've not seen Billy Madison. I've heard of it. Yeah, I own quite a lot of his 90s ones. Yeah, Happy Gilmore, probably my favourite. The Water Boy, I enjoy. Big Daddy. But yeah, I've not ever seen Billy Madison, to tell you the truth.
Oh, fair enough. Pete, what's your next one?
My next one is... Let's have a look. What can I choose? Empire Records.
Yeah, that was on my list. I've not seen it though. Good.
It's a great movie. If you like music and you like 90s teen comedy sort of things, comedy dramas,
for me,
it's definitely worth watching. It's a film I watched as a teen, so it was like that and Mallrats were big teen movies for me, and Clueless as well when I was like 14, 15. And yeah, I love Empire Records. I still watch it now. Every year celebrate the what's his name? Rex Manning Day, which was Don't Be Sad, It's Rex Manning Day. Great cast as well. So you've got like really young Renee Zellweger, young Liv Tyler. Just definitely check it out.
Yeah, I'll go check that one out. Have you seen that one, Tim?
No, I think Ash or someone spoke about it a while ago, didn't they? Empire Records. But no, I've not seen it. But one I have heard of. Yeah, never got round to it.
Nice. My next one is The Quick and the Dead. Any of you guys seen that one?
Yes, many times.
Yeah, good one.
Great Western.
So like a Western, I'm guessing?
Yeah, Sam Raimi Western.
Oh, right.
Sharon Stone and Gene Hackman and
Mm.
DiCaprio, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it. But
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
It's like a revenge Western, but with a like a what they call it, like a dueling contest.
Right.
It's really good. It's really good. I kind of want to watch it now. Now you've
I need
mentioned
to
it.
get that.
I love that movie.
Yeah. What's next on your list?
Next on my list is Mallrats. I'll say Mallrats because I just mentioned it. It was the first Kevin Smith film I ever saw. Introduced me to Jay and Silent Bob. Then I watched Clerks after that. But because it was the first Kevin Smith film I ever watched, it's the one I always go back to more than the others.
Me too. Yeah.
And I love it. It's just stupid.
And it's the painting as well, because that was one of the quiz questions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And nobody got it except for
I got
you.
it.
You got it. Yeah, obviously you got it. But it's just so funny. And I just love the bit with Stan Lee.
Stanley, yeah.
Yeah. Just such
There's
good
it's the fact that the people who are in it. So you've got Jason Lee, who
Yeah.
would go on and do like My Name Is Earl. But
Yeah.
you've got Michael Rooker as well.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Michael Rooker's great in it.
Ethan Suplee's in it, and he was in My Name Is Earl as well. Yeah.
That was when he was doing Boy Meets World as well, when he was Big
Yeah.
Frankie. So that's true. He was in My Name Is Earl.
Yeah, it was his brother.
Frankie, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that film.
Yeah. No, I go back to that quite a lot because
Yeah.
that's just such a
And
good
Ben
film.
Affleck is in it as well.
And he's such a douche in it though,
He's
as
a
well,
dick
isn't he?
in that film.
Yeah.
And
It's
Shannon Doherty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shannon
she's
Doherty.
yeah.
Yeah, she's in
It's
it.
it's the scene where they're kicked out of the mall, Jane Silent Bob, and they're trying to get in with the grapple hook. Yeah,
Yeah, he's got the Batman belt.
yeah, the Batman belt.
You
Yeah,
get these crazy gadgets, and then he kisses him, and they go up.
yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah,
And
I love that film.
he gives Michael Rooker the
chocolate covered
laxative.
pretzel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to rewatch that again. I love that film.
Great soundtrack as well. Like it ends with Weezer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to upgrade it. Coincidentally, when I was looking on local CEX, they got it on Blu-ray in Kingswood CEX, I think, but I've only got the DVD, so I do need to upgrade it. I think it's quite expensive, the Blu-ray. It must be out of print.
Yeah, it's out of print.
I think it was like £12 or something for the standard one.
I was really lucky. So I've got it on Blu-ray, and then like I work for CEX now, and my brother has worked for CEX for 12 years. And he came home one day and handed me the 4K copy, the 4K Arrow release of Mallrats that they weren't allowed to sell, so they were just going to bin it because it's not a UK release. So I now have the 4K of Mallrats on my shelf next to the regular UK Blu-ray.
It looks good as well.
I haven't checked it out, to be honest with you, because I haven't got a 4K TV in here. I've got a 4K TV in the living room.
Yeah,
so I tend to just watch most of my movies in here. But the last 4K I watched was Back to the Future.
Oh, good choice. Is it true that they're doing a 4K for Dogma?
Yes, because he's got the rights back.
Oh, that's good. I've never seen it, but I'd love to. That's one of the few Kevin Smith films I've not seen, like of his classic films.
I think it was quite controversial at the time, wasn't it? I think it was banned in a lot of countries just due to like the religious aspect. So I think Australia, most Asian countries banned it outright.
Because of the religious aspects of it. I love the fact that he went and picketed his own movie.
Yeah,
it was so good. Ollie, which Kevin Smith films have you not seen from like his earlier stuff?
The only earlier ones I've not seen is Dogma, and then the next one would be Clerks 2, Zack and Mary, and then I've not seen a lot of his newer ones.
I think you might find Tusk a tough watch, Ollie. It's funny, but it's quite disturbing, but it's quite horrifying.
See, I'm not massively sold on his later stuff. Like I watched Tusk, I wasn't fussed on it. I watched Yoga Hosers, which was awful.
I didn't watch that. That's Johnny Depp as well, isn't it?
Movie. And I liked Red State because it was something completely different to what he'd done prior to that. But
what about Cop Out? I've seen Cop Out. That wasn't very good.
It's not good. It's not a good movie. It wasn't a very good script.
Well, they changed the title, didn't they?
Say again?
They changed the title, didn't they? Because it was supposed to be called something else.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was called. Like a couple
And
of
they,
dicks.
yeah,
or
I
something
can't
like
either,
that.
but they couldn't release it. But it was a much better title.
Yeah, I think it was like I think it was called like a couple of dicks.
That's it. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
The earliest I much prefer is early, so like Clerks, Mallrats,
Yeah,
Chasing
me
Amy,
too.
even Jersey Girl,
Oh, I love
Dogma,
Jersey Girl. Guilty pleasure that is.
Zack and Miri. I love Zack and Miri. I think it's such a good film.
I didn't
Um,
mind Jane Silent Bob reboot, but not as good as the original.
The reboot was okay. The
It was
thing is,
alright.
with Kevin Smith movies now, all he seems to do is just talk about how a couple of years ago he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Clerks 3 was basically from what I
Yeah,
hear.
I didn't even bother with Clerks 3 because that's what I watched like the first 20 minutes of it and then gave up on it. And I really like Clerks 2 as well. I think Clerks 2 was great up until the last like 20 minutes or so when it just goes stupid.
They are doing Mallrats too, aren't they?
Eventually, I've got
Yeah.
his 413 movie.
Oh, the new one. Yeah, that's supposed to be
430
alright.
movie or something like that. I've got it on
Yeah, the
my
413
hard drive
movie.
to watch.
Yeah, that's supposed to be alright, that is. That kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't even know he'd done that one.
I didn't know he'd done it either until
No.
like I saw a trailer for it and then it said
Me too,
from
yeah.
director Kevin
Kevin
Smith.
Smith,
Like,
yeah.
okay then.
Yeah. Next on my list is Danny Boyle's directorial debut, Shallow Grave.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Not seen that. I've heard that's quite dark.
It's been a long time since I saw that.
I think it's
Ewan
got a
McGregor.
young James
Chris
Bond
Brett-
in it, hasn't it?
It's Christopher
It's
Eccleston in it.
Christopher
I know
Eccleston.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kerry Fox,
Ewan
Christopher
McGregor.
Eccleston, Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Is
what's
that
his
out
name?
of
Keith
print?
Allen?
I don't think you see that
No,
around
there's a
already, no?
Blu-ray of that, I think, but I've
No,
not
right.
got it. Yeah. No, I've
It's
not
like
seen
a
that one.
murder, like I was not going to say mystery, but it's like a murder thriller type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a clever film.
Yeah. What's your next one, Pete?
Let's have a look. So many. Heat.
Yeah, that's on my list, definitely. In fact, I've
Greatest crime movie ever made.
Al Pacino and Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant
4K.
film.
I've heard the 4K is really good. I've not actually seen the 4K yet, but yeah, it is the greatest crime film ever made. I agree.
So meticulously planned and executed by Michael Mann. It just looks incredible. 35mm film. Oh, so good. And the sound effects that they didn't use, they just used the live fire from the heist. Just sounds so brutal and so good. It's just a great movie.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't have put it better than what you said. Tim, what about you? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I love Heat. Yeah, I watched it a lot of times. It's long, isn't it? I think the version I've got's like 3 hours, but it just don't feel that long.
Yeah,
170 minutes. So yeah,
it just don't drag.
But the fact that
just
it's a
great
remake,
sort of squaring off in it between two good, two of the best actors ever, really.
Yeah.
The cool thing is that he remade a film that he previously made. So he made a film called LA Takedown, which was meant to be like a pilot for a TV show in the late 80s. That was about Vincent Hanna, which was and Neil McCauley, which were the characters from Heat. And then he expanded on that because the TV show of LA Takedown didn't take off. Expanded on the story and gave us fucking Heat.
Yeah.
TV movie origins to greatest crime thriller ever made.
Yeah, probably in my top like 25 films ever. I think Heat.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, same. Next one on my list is a film called Just Cause, which I have seen before. Sean Connery, Lawrence Fishburne, Scarlett Johansson. Good crime film set in the bayou. I think he plays like he's like a professor of something, and he's brought in to investigate these murders that have been happening in the swamps. I think, from what I remember, it was really good though. It's on Netflix at the moment. If anyone does,
I think it ends with like there's like a chase through the swamp.
The swamp, and someone gets eaten by an alligator. I think, from what I remember.
been a while since I've seen it though, but I think I've got it on DVD. But it's
Same,
good
I've got it
film.
on DVD. It's been a while. I used to get them confused. I used to get Just Cause and A Time to Kill confused with each other.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're both around the same era and about the same
Around
time
the
they came
swamp.
out, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Good film that is. If you've not seen it, Tim, recommend that.
No, I'll keep an eye out for that in CEX, and I imagine this one is probably not that expensive, isn't it?
I think it's
Yeah.
a quid.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, I like films set in the swamp, and there's not that many, is there? Like Angel Heart, kind of set in the bayou.
Yeah, that's good.
Used to watch a few when I was a kid. Obviously, got like Crocodile Dundee kind of ones, but yeah, I don't think of too many films that are set in swamps. So yeah, I wouldn't mind watching that.
Yeah.
There was a film that was made in the is it In the Electric Mist?
In the Electric Mist, Tommy Lee
Oh,
Jones.
yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones, which is a swamp-based detective.
Yeah, I keep seeing that around in CEX.
Yeah,
It's quite
that's cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Oddly enough,
your
I
next
was
one,
supposed
Pete?
to be. I was supposed to have a day off tomorrow, but I'm actually going into work to sort out the DVDs because they're a mess.
good.
So
Oh,
I
wow.
can have a look to see if we've got a Time to Kill, or not a Time to Kill, Just Cause, because I think it's probably like £1 or something. My next one is one that no one really talks about. It's called Dead Presidents.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, it's like a bank
It's
heist kind of film.
Yeah, it's a heist, like gangster Vietnam War veteran movie, directed by the Hughes brothers, who did like Menace to Society, and then went and did From Hell, I think it is.
Yeah, that's a good film.
And that's a really good crime thriller that it doesn't really get enough recognition, I don't think.
Yeah.
A great
Yeah,
cast.
because even the front cover, they've all got kind of white like masks on when they like rob the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, not seen that one.
It's got Keith David, Lorenz Tate in it, and who else have we got in it? Chris Tucker's in it.
Oh,
Freddie Rodriguez, who went on and did 6 Feet Under and Planet Terror. It's a really, really good, solid crime film.
I've never seen it once. So I can't remember much about it, but I remember enjoying it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, the next one on my list, I haven't seen, but I know of it. I know it's got some like notoriety about it, and it's Toby Hooper's The Mangler.
Oh yeah.
Seen that
It's
one?
a very bad adaptation of a Stephen King story.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
It's not a good film, but I don't think it's as bad as everyone says. I don't hate it, but
No,
the
same.
acting by Robert Englund's not bad, but there's a foreman in it. His acting is some of the worst I've ever seen. But yeah, some good gore and stuff when the people get mangled up. But yeah, it's not very similar to the Stephen King original. But yeah, I've got the Arrow version. It's not a great film, but yeah, I don't hate it as much as a lot of people seem to.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm of the minority that doesn't think Toby Hooper is a very good director. Visually, he's got
anybody in my love other than Salem's Lot, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Life Force. I think Poltergeist. I think Poltergeist is really shakes.
It's a Spielberg
really, wasn't it?
Yeah. But Hooper, like, I'm not a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't think it's a very good film at all. I think it gets way too much praise heaped onto it. Life Force I like because it's fucking mental and it has everything in it. It's a space zombie vampire,
boobs,
whatever, nude woman walking around.
Yeah, it's like naked all the way through it.
It's bonkers. And Salem's Lot is a TV movie. So it wasn't a theatrical thing. It was made for TV. But the rest of the stuff that he's done, like that he did, even like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is completely.
I enjoy it. It's fun, but it's a silly film, isn't it?
Yeah, like the rest of the stuff he did, like Toolbox Murders in the like early 2000s and Mortuary and stuff like that. We're all crap movies.
Yeah, I guess when you say it, yeah, he is a bit overrated. Yeah.
That's like he's always classed as a master of horror because he made one film that is classed as a cult horror movie. When you look at people like George Romero that started off with Night of the Living Dead, followed it up with Dawn of the Dead, and followed it up with The Crazies, then Dawn of the Dead, then Day of the Dead, or Creepshow. There was, apart from the last 3 movies that he had, he never had a duff film in his entire filmography. Yet Toby Hooper had like 3 good movies.
Yeah, Eaten Alive's not very good, is it?
No. And there was so much puppet like strings being pulled on Poltergeist that you can tell it's not.
Yeah, I have
a
heard that
movie.
Spielberg basically had his
Yeah.
hands all over it.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's your next one, Pete?
it's not a Toby Hooper film. Next one is Waterworld.
Yeah, that's on my list. I have
The most
no idea where I
expensive
put
film
it.
made at the time,
Uh,
which is very cheap compared to films that are made nowadays. I think it had ended up with like a $250 million budget after everything, which is nothing compared to what Netflix paid for, spent on the Electric State.
There's my copy.
Waterworld is great. Kevin Costner at the
Yeah, I
start of
love
his
it.
sci-fi double bill of the 90s with Waterworld and The Postman, which I love. Waterworld's great.
yeah, it gets a lot of hate,
Yeah.
but I don't really see. I think the original cut was great, but you've got like the Ulysses cut, which adds a lot more
Ulysses
footage.
cut is fantastic.
Yeah. So we've seen
just
that on
add
like the
everything
Arrow
in.
version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get the hate on it. I mean, it flopped at the time, I guess, because of the budgets and stuff. But yeah, I quite enjoy it. Dennis Hopper's pretty wild in it.
Dennis Hopper's great. You got Jack Black's in it as well, and yeah, such a good, fun post-apocalyptic 90s movie.
Yeah, it does get
massive
overhated, I
budget.
think.
Yeah. Well, the next one on my list is Muriel's Wedding. PJ Hogan
I
film.
haven't seen that in years.
It's so good. To the songs of ABBA. Such a good. It's like one of those cult Australian films, like I'd put with like Strictly Ballroom, Adventures of Priscilla, like in that bracket. It's just I love it. I think it's such a feel good film, and it basically brought Toni Collette to fame. It was the film that brought her to America and England, and
she's worked consistently since Muriel's Wedding. She's always in something.
Yeah, she is, and she's usually good, even if it's a crap film.
Good. Yeah.
Wasn't she the mum in Sixth Sense as well? I think, wasn't she?
She was. Yeah, I think she probably got that not long after.
Yeah, I think that was her first big American role. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Hereditary sort of more recently brought her to a lot more fame.
Yeah. But great.
No, I've never seen Muriel's Wedding.
Yeah, great film.
Terrible Muriel.
Yeah.
I love that you said Strictly Ballroom. I was forced to watch that as a kid.
Not like that one.
I love it. I think it's a great movie.
Good. Yeah,
it's so Australian.
It is so Australian.
Scott Hastings and Tina Sparkle. Fucking love that film.
Yeah. What's your next pick then, Pete?
My next pick would be Hackers.
Oh yeah, that was on my list as well.
Johnny Lee Miller and Angelina Jolie. I love that film. That film has been with me since 1995. I watch it at least once a year. The soundtrack's amazing. It's so inaccurate when it comes to computer science and hacking and stuff, but it's just a cool movie with a crap villain.
Yeah. No, I've not seen that one.
You should watch it. It's so silly, but so good and so much fun. They have to hack a giant supercomputer called a Gibson, and because there's a man working for a company who has been sending viruses out to these massive tankers to make them capsize. Don't know why. I think it was probably to cash in on like insurance or something. But he's played by Fisher Stevens, who is Benjamin Jarby from the Short Circuit movies. He directed that Victoria Beckham and David Beckham documentary as well, which is so random. And he is such a crap villain in it. He calls himself the Plague as his handle. But if you're meant to believe that Johnny Lee Miller and Angelina Jolie's characters are meant to be high school seniors, where he's got a 5 o'clock shadow and she's Angelina Jolie. I love it. It's so stupid, but so good.
No, I've never even heard of
that. Next on my list is Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey, Rene Russo, about like a virus outbreak and them trying to contain it in this small village. Remember it being really good. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
Yeah,
And
I
it
watch
started
every
by
Been a long
chimps.
time since I've seen it.
Yeah, chimps. Yeah,
A chimp bite. Yeah, I've seen it
Yeah.
once when it first came out on VHS, but
Mm.
I've seen it since. I forgot it had Dustin Hoffman actually.
yeah.
I remember that there was a joke in The Simpsons where Milhouse got a monkey and it bit him, and he was just white and shaking.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, Outbreak's good. It's been a long time since I've seen it as well.
yeah, yeah. What's
What
your
else?
next pick?
What else have I got on here? Tank Girl.
That was
Oh,
close on my
yeah, I like
list.
that.
Yeah,
Again, like 1990. The reason I chose 1995 it was because it was at a time when I was discovering new movies and stuff. Because I was born in '83, so 95 I would have been 12, and I grew up watching Star Wars, and 95 you had all these things like Judge Dredd and Species and Hackers and stuff. These were the movies that like kind of shaped my teen years and my film what's the word for it? My film tastes, if you know what I mean. They came
Yeah.
out at the exact time for me at my age, at then. So stuff like Tank Girl, which had again a really cool soundtrack with like Ice-T and Devo, and like there's punk rock songs on there as well. Plus you had Laurie Petty, who had only been in a couple of films prior to that, which were Free Willy and Point Break, but she was a complete badass in Tank Girl. Obviously, it's based on a comic book as well, British comic book, and you got like a very young Naomi Watts in it as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and
What are those things
Ice-T
called in it, Pete? There's those weird kangaroo things in
Rippers.
it. Yeah, that's
Rippers,
it.
yeah. Ice-T playing a kangaroo with the makeup
Oh,
of
wow.
Stan Winston as well. So yeah, it's such a cool film and so stupid and over the top, and deserves its place as a cult classic, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then CEX they had, it got released on Eureka, like the big box set. They had that in the window. I was tempted, but I think it was like £38 or something. I haven't watched that one since I was a kid either.
So I used to own the Shout Factory release, and then my American Blu-ray player decided it didn't want to play Blu-rays at all anymore, so it wouldn't play any of them. So I just stuck with the MGM DVD for a long time, and then Umbrella released it in Australia.
Oh, nice.
And so I picked the Australian release up, and then like 2 weeks later, Eureka announced they were releasing it in the UK. But it's exactly the same stuff on the disc. It's the same transfer. So I stuck with the Aussie one. We've got a copy of it in my shop, and I don't like the artwork on the box.
No, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it should. It should look.
Yeah,
But,
quite
very cool film. It's got Iggy Pop's in it as well.
Who was that?
Iggy Pop is in it.
Oh, wow. Random.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
Next up on my list is I think it's a Stephen King adaptation. Just read it. Yeah, it's Stephen King adaptation. Very underrated director as well. Dolores Claiborne, directed by Taylor Hackford. Really great, like crime thriller. You got obviously Kathy Bates, Jennifer Jason Leigh, the excellent Christopher Plummer, and what's her name? She's in Call the Midwife. Judy Parfitt.
Oh, Judy Parfitt.
Yeah.
It's a
John
good
C. Reilly.
adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor Hackford is married to Helen Mirren.
Yeah. They met on was it White Knight? White Knight's the ballet film, 1984, I think that one was. With
Gregory Hines and
Mikhail Baryshnikov, whatever his name is. Yeah, I want to watch that one because that one looks right up my street. But Dolores Claiborne, solid adaptation, I think.
I've got it, but I haven't watched it yet.
There's a lot of stuff in the Stephen King universe of like Derry, which is the place he created in Maine. Everything is linked as well. So I think there's that new Welcome to Derry show.
Yeah.
That has links to Dolores Claiborne as well. It's very clever how everything is linked. It's all to do with the Dark Tower series.
Oh, is it?
It's the Stephen King multiverse, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
read the book a bit, but I've not watched the. But yeah, I've got it on the premium collection. Just not got round to it yet.
Yeah.
Ollie, do you want to do your next one? Because I've just got to shoot off for a couple of minutes, and I shall be back.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah.
My next one is Major Pain with Damon Wayans. Have you ever seen that?
No, I've not even heard of that.
Oh,
It's like a comedy about a soldier,
such a
I'm
funny
guessing.
film.
Isn't it?
I haven't got
Yeah,
yet.
he's like
It's silly.
he's like a drill sergeant at a kid's like boot camp, and it's just such a, like Pete said, such a silly, stupid film, but oh, so funny. It's so funny.
No, I've
Like
not heard of that.
slapstick
Sounds good.
stuff.
Though.
Yeah, no, it's exactly what you expect from a 90s film.
Who directs it?
I have no idea.
I was going to say, it's weird. I mean, some of these films just never on your radar. Obviously, there's some kind of see around in HMV, CEX, and just never buy them. But I know of them. But yeah, I can't say I've ever heard of Major Pain. But it sounds like one. I do like sort of silly comedies. And yeah, like you were saying earlier, not that many I can think of that are set at like summer camps. Whereas when I was a kid, I used to like, say, Addams Family. Is it the second one? Is set at like a summer camp, isn't it? Like a school camp. Yeah, there's not too many films that are set at summer camps, and I used to like those when I was a kid.
Yeah. I'll do the next one as Pete's not back yet. The next one is Tommy Boy with Chris Farley and David Spade. Just got a 4K release over here as well. Not seen it, but it's supposed to be a really funny 90s film.
No, not heard of that.
No, not seen that. Move on to the next one then, as Pete's not back. Obvious classic. Bad Boys, already spoken about this already.
Was that 93 that came out? Was it?
95, yeah. I think was it Michael Bay's first film as well, I think? Might have been. Don't think he did anything before this. Yeah,
I think.
But yeah, classic action film, isn't it, though?
Hmm.
Yeah, you've seen that one, though, haven't you, Tim?
Yeah, I think I watched the premiere of it when it came on Sky Movies. So either 95, maybe 96 by the time it came on. But yeah, I remember seeing it when it first premiered on, I think that was, other than Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I think that was the first thing I'd seen Will Smith in, I think. Maybe Independence Day was like a year after that also.
That was after, yeah. Next up is Don Juan DeMarco, which is
heard of it, but
comedy with Johnny Depp, Marlon Brando of all people as well, and Faye Dunaway. Very bizarre film. Basically, Johnny Depp believes he's the character Don Juan, who's weird. He's supposed to be the greatest lover in the world, and he believes he can seduce any woman. And Marlon Brando's this therapist that's been basically sent in by the state to basically convince him that he's just a normal person. And Faye Dunaway plays Marlon Brando's wife in it. And it's quite funny. It's just so bizarre. Like, it's just so weird, the story and the people involved in it. It's just, you gotta see it to believe it, that type of thing. But
sounds quite bizarre.
it was alright. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird film though, yeah. Next on my list is a Goofy movie. Have you seen a Goofy movie? Because I've never seen it.
Is it like the animated one?
Yeah.
Don't know. I think I remember seeing one vaguely when I was a kid with like Goofy's nephew called Max or something. Was that it? Has it got like Max in, like Goofy's nephew? If that's the one, I think I have seen it as a kid, but I can't remember much about it. But yeah, I do remember seeing some kind of Goofy movie, but rather than being Goofy, it was like his nephew Max was like the main character in it. Not sure if that's the same thing.
I've not seen that. Have you seen that one, Pete?
What, a Goofy movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think Max is Goofy's son.
Oh, right.
And it's like following Max in school. I think he's like an outcasty type of kid. And there's like a big concert with a character called Power Sal, who's like a musical, like a pop star that goes to the school. It's it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, same here. I vaguely remember it, but
yeah.
Mm. Do you want to go for your? Oh, better say what we've gone through. So we've done Major Payne, we've done Tommy Boy, we've done Bad Boys, and we've done Don Juan DeMarco.
So the only one of yours that you went through that is on my list is Bad Boys. I have seen Major Payne multiple times. What was the other one you said? Don Juan DeMarco.
Yeah.
There's a Johnny Depp movie, and
Tommy Boy.
Yeah, that's not on my list either. I'm not a fan of Chris Farley.
Yeah.
What else? Trying to think now. We've gone through quite a few.
Yeah. I think we'll go to the 3-hour mark and then we'll call it a day because I know Tim said he's got to go quite early.
Yeah, well, I'm going to watch a film before bed, but also my phone is now on 25% battery, so it should last till then.
Yeah, we'll go another 20 minutes then.
Yeah.
Money Train with
that's a good film.
Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, one of her first films, I think.
Action movie from the 90s reunites Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson from White Men Can't Jump. Good stunt work, good action sequences, good banter between the two of them. I mean, they played brothers in it, like adopted brothers. It's a good film, fun movie.
Yeah, I remember really enjoying that one as well. What shall I go for next? Because we've only got a certain amount of time. I'll get some of the good ones out of the way. Apollo 13. Absolute stone cold classic. Yeah, Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, Bill Paxton, Gary Sinise, Ed Harris. Yeah, just a
Ron Howard film, isn't it?
Yeah, just a classic film though. Yes, both of you guys have seen that one.
Yeah.
Only once years ago. Can't remember it too much. Remember it being, without spoiling it, quite tragic, I think. I think it came out around the same time as Armageddon with Bruce Willis. I think I used to mix those two up.
Yeah. What are you going to go for next?
Really good.
Yeah, what are you going to go for next, Pete?
Let's go with GoldenEye.
That's what I was going to go with next, actually. Yeah.
GoldenEye. Pierce Brosnan's first outing as 007. Great action movie. Really cool opening stunt sequence as well, where he jumps off the dam. That's cool. Sean Bean as the villain.
Yeah.
No, I won't give a spoiler, but I'm sure everybody's seen it, and Sean Bean
definitely dies in it. Definitely.
Just like a reboot of the Bond franchise after License to Kill. But we had the 4 Pierce Brosnan movies, and then obviously Daniel Craig. But no, it's like I think it's the best of his Bond movies. Like Tomorrow Never Dies is good, but it's not GoldenEye good. The World Is Not Enough. It's okay, but again, crap villains.
Yeah.
Like Robert Carlyle's character has a bullet lodged in his brain, so he doesn't feel pain. So
yeah. I do love GoldenEye.
And then Die Another Day kind of just killed it at that point. That's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, GoldenEye's great song, theme song by Tina Turner.
Yeah. Definitely.
And Martin Campbell directed it and went back and directed Casino Royale.
Yeah.
They needed someone to reboot it properly.
Maybe they'll do that again.
Yes. I think they want to.
Yeah.
I think they said they wanted to get Martin Campbell back to do the new Bond film.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
The last couple of films he's made haven't been great though. I think he did The Cleaner,
and he did Dirty Angels or whatever it was
with
Eva Green.
Eva Green, that's the word. But he did The Foreigner as well, which is a good film.
Which is really good, with Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Next one on my list, another classics. We've got to get through the classics. 7. Another one of the best crime films ever made. Absolutely love this film. So dark, so gritty. Literally dark as well for most of the film until the end. But just
great chemistry between Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the twist at the end always gets you.
that Fincher run of films from Seven, The Game, Panic
Fight
Room,
Club.
and Fight Club and Zodiac
Club.
was like
Mm.
such a good run of movies.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, I
I
love.
think Seven's my favourite film by him, followed by Fight Club. But
Yeah,
probably Seven the best. Yeah.
yeah. What do you think of that one, Pete?
Seven, I think, is great. I'm not a huge fan of Fight Club. I think again that, like the Coen brothers with Big Lebowski, is kind of held up to a higher standard than I actually think of it as. But
Yeah,
Seven, I think, is great. Really good performances by both Morgan Freeman and especially Brad Pitt, who hadn't really done a huge amount of like big roles prior to that. I think, was it
Thelma
12
and
Monkeys?
Louise. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Thelma and Louise
Well, it
is
wasn't
only
really.
a very
Yeah.
small role in that. Same with
California?
True Romance. California, he's okay in it, but he's not. Again, he's not the star of that.
Yeah.
Randomly, the star of that is David Duchovny.
Yeah.
But Seven was like kind of his big break movie,
Yeah.
and he's really good in it. I mean, I think he did 12 Monkeys the same year,
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
and again, like he started to show more and more versatility as an actor. But I don't think he should have won an Oscar for Once Upon a Time in
No,
Hollywood,
yeah.
because his performance isn't that good. He should
Yeah.
have won one for I think Ad Astra.
Yeah, that was good.
But
Yeah.
he's great in that, and I got a feeling he might get nominated for F1.
Well, and he's got the sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood coming, so who knows?
Directed by Fincher.
Fincher, yeah. Yeah.
But no, I think Seven's a really good film, really grim movie, and Kevin Spacey at the end is like,
oh yeah,
that is a
when
movie
he walks
villain.
into the police station.
Yeah, like he plays a movie villain really well.
Oh
he
yeah,
should have got nominated for an Oscar for that.
Talking about that, you know where we're going next. I just had to mention that Usual Suspects before your one. Another great Kevin Spacey one.
We're not allowed to like the filmmaker now, though.
No, of course not. Like him. Yeah, it's bad.
Bryan Singer's made some great movies, though.
Oh yeah,
too bad he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Usual Suspects is good. The whole reveal ending is so clever, but then it's written by Christopher McQuarrie.
It is, yeah.
Did he do the recent Mission Impossible film?
He's done all 4 Mission Impossible, the last 4 Mission Impossibles.
Yeah.
He wrote Ghost Protocol as well, which was the fourth film, because there's 8 in total, isn't it? Yeah. But he also wrote and directed Way of the Gun, which is a really underrated crime film.
Yeah.
An action film. But Usual Suspects is great. Really
it's cast, isn't it? It's got to be at least 10 like great people in it.
Yeah. Even Stephen Baldwin is good in that film, and Stephen Baldwin is never good in a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your next pick then, Pete?
My next one is going to be Showgirls.
Yeah.
Showgirls is a terrible movie, but also a good film at the same time, because it's Paul Verhoeven being the sleaziest he could possibly be in a movie. He's quite sleazy in most of his movies, like Flesh and Blood, and there's sleazy moments in Starship Troopers, but Showgirls is like peak Paul Verhoeven sleaze, and it kind of ruined the career of Elizabeth Berkley as well, because she was known as Jessie from Saved by the Bell for so many years, and then she does this movie where this actress who played a hardcore feminist for like 6 years on a kids a teen comedy series is now full frontal nude stripper in a Paul Verhoeven movie. But other than that, it's not that bad of a film. It's
entertaining, but it's not that well made, is it? But as a teenager, I liked it for some reason.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
think it's one of those films that is so bad that it's good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Next on my list is Todd Haynes' directorial debut, Safe.
I've
Julianne
never
Moore.
seen it. I know of it.
Yeah, I've not seen it yet, but I love Todd Haynes as a director. And I've heard this is an excellent film. But I have no idea. I think it's about like this disease that's going around in the world where you become allergic to
Is
everything.
it Julianne Moore?
Julianne Moore, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know who else
Tom
is in it.
Wilkinson?
No, it says Julianne Moore, Peter Friedman. I don't know any of the names in it, to be honest. Yeah, I think Julianne Moore's the main
Oh,
star in
Xander
it. But
Berkeley.
Xander Berkeley, yeah.
That's
But
I've heard of that one.
it's supposed to be really good. But I picked that up when we were in Oxfam, Tim. But
Oh,
I know
nice.
because I knew it was a Todd Haynes film, but paid £5 for it, which I don't mind because I think it's quite out of print. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that one out. Actually,
Never
Yeah.
seen that one myself.
no. What are you gonna go for next?
A very bizarre film that not many people really talk about. It's a film with Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington called Virtuosity.
Yeah, I know of that one. Yeah,
Where Russell Crowe is basically AI
right.
and he becomes evil and sentient, and then becomes like a 3D printed human version of himself, and then causes like violence on the streets of future Los Angeles, and it's up to Denzel Washington's police cop man to stop him. It's quite an underrated sci-fi film, and it's quite fun. It's not the best Denzel movie, but as a science fiction film, it's quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not heard of that.
No, I've not seen that one.
It's directed by Brett Leonard, who I think also directed the Lawnmower Man.
Oh yeah,
All right. Yeah.
that with Pierce
Yeah, he did.
Brosnan.
Yes, yeah, and Jeff
Quite a
Fahey.
weird film.
Very weird movie.
Yeah. Next on my list is 9 Months. Hugh Grant, Julianne Moore, Chris Columbus film. Got Tom Arnold in there, Joan Cusack,
Goldblum's
Jeff
in it.
Goldblum, Robin Williams as the Doctor, who steals everything parties in. He's hilarious in it. Yeah,
So
I love Chris Columbus.
The little girl in that film is Ashley Johnson, and she is the voice of Ellie in The Last of
Oh,
Us.
that's right. Yeah,
video
she
game.
was in one of the episodes.
Yeah, she played Ellie's mother
Yeah.
in the first series, but she was the one who did the voice for it. But
Oh,
she's
yeah.
also Mel Gibson's daughter in What Women Want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's been in loads of stuff, but 9 Months is great.
Oh, it is. I love it.
Yeah. There's the scene where they're comparing things with the what is it? The praying mantis.
Yeah.
He has the dream about the praying mantis, how it eats like the mate once they've had sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, great movie.
Just
I need to
how
get hold of
incompetent. The German Blu-ray's pretty cheap. That's how I got it.
I'm hoping I've got a DVD of it in work, so I
Yeah.
can grab it.
But yeah, Robin Williams' character's just so incompetent. He just has no idea what he's doing.
He's the doctor at the hospital, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he has no idea what he's doing now. Yeah, so funny because he's like come from. Has he come from like Africa? If I remember rightly, he's been working with like the animals. It's so yeah, it's just so bizarre, and he's just come over to be like this midwife, and it's the ending when she gives birth, and he's there trying to help her, and he just passes out. Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah. If you've not seen that, Tim, it is a good laugh, that one.
I've heard of it,
Robin
but
Williams alone.
certain films you hear of and not really on the radar, but once you hear, Christopher Columbus, I like as a director, so yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out. But yeah, I didn't know it's by Chris Columbus.
Yeah. No, yeah, solid film. I think what we'll do one each left and then call it a day.
Yeah.
So, what's your next one and your last one, Pete?
Ooh. Ooh.
I'll have to choose mine carefully. I'm going to choose that.
Batman Forever.
Good choice.
Batman, the first non-Michael Keaton Batman movie. Which I don't know. Is it all set in the same universe, or is Batman Forever like a
No, it
reboot?
has to be because it's still Michael Goff.
Michael Goff as Alfred,
Yeah,
and
so it must be.
Thingy is still Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah,
Yeah. I really like Batman Forever because it does still feel like the Burton era Batman, but
just a bit crazier.
a bit crazier. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey as the Riddler is
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face is amazing.
Yeah.
I think, is it that one or is it Batman and Robin? Yeah, it's Batman and Robin that has Batgirl in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen that one yet.
But this the Batman Forever is the introduction of Robin.
Yeah.
And that really horrible shiny costume.
Yeah.
Anyways. But no, I really liked Val Kilmer as Batman, and
me too. Yeah,
he had really good chemistry with Nicole Kidman in that as well.
I think so too. Yeah,
It's just a shame that Joel Schumacher ruined that series with the follow-up.
The last one. Yeah.
You're in for a treat when you get the Batman and Robin.
I've heard mixed things. I'm watching it for Arnie though.
Batman,
he's
really
bad.
Is a bad film, but it's
thinking. What's the guy's name that plays Robin? Pete, Chris something.
Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah, he's kind of the worst part of it for me. Yeah.
I would say Uma Thurman is probably the worst part of the film.
Yeah, Poison Ivy, isn't she?
It's fun to a degree. If you don't compare it to the other Batman movies that came before it, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's luckily George Clooney did it at the start of his big break.
Yeah.
Like the film he did before it, I think, was From Dusk
Till
Dawn.
One Fine Day.
Oh,
yeah. One Fine Day, yeah.
So that 3-year span, it was like From Dusk Till Dawn, One Fine Day, and then Batman and Robin. So it didn't really harm his career. But yeah, it's okay. It's not great, but Batman Forever is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And my last one is a personal favorite of mine that I've talked about many times on the channel before because I think it's such an underrated film, and it is The American President. It's a Rob Reiner film written by Aaron Sorkin, starring Michael Douglas, Annette Bening, Michael J. Fox, Martin Sheen, David Paymer, who's always great, Samantha Mathis. Great film, great political drama, romance type film. Just think it's really well done, really well written. Just absolutely love it. But one that you never hear anyone talk about because it's just one of those ones, I think. But yeah, really enjoy that one. Have either of you guys seen that?
Not for many, many years. I can't remember much about it at all.
Yeah.
I remember there was like 2 films around the same time. It was The American President and the film Dave with Kevin Kline. And I used to get those 2 confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember much about The American President at all. But if it's Aaron Sorkin, then that's going to have a fucking great script.
Oh, it is. It's incredible, the script. Yeah. Coming off of A Few Good Men, he did that. And brilliant script. But right, so 1995. I know we didn't go through everything. There's probably still loads more to go through, but as we've done before, thumbs up for great year for film, middle for average, thumbs down for bad. I would do 2 thumbs up, but I'm holding the phone so I can't. I think it's an excellent year for film.
That's why I chose it.
Yeah.
It was either that or 1982.
Yeah, 94 is good as well, and 99.
Yeah,
they're both good years as well. Yeah, but good choice there, Pete, with 95. Loads to choose from there.
There was so many. It was like I didn't even write down all the ones that I was going to write down because
that
I didn't. I can literally. I'll go through my list quickly. So I had Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, Before Sunrise, In the Mouth of Madness, Billy Madison, Quick and the Dead, Shallow Grave, Heavyweights, The Hunted, Outbreak, Tank Girl, Bad Boys, Basketball Diaries, Village of the Damned, Crimson Tide, City of Lost Children, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Braveheart, Casper, Batman Forever, Apollo 13, Judge Dredd, First Night, Species, 9 Months, Clueless, Kids, Waterworld, Babe, Virtuosity, Dangerous Minds, Mortal Kombat, Desperado, Tu Wong Fu, Hackers, Usual Suspects, Empire Records, Seven, Showgirls, Devil in a Blue Dress, Dead Presidents, Assassins, Strange Days, Get Shorty, Mallrats, Now and Then, Leaving Las Vegas, Fair Game, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, GoldenEye, Casino, Money Train, Toy Story, Heat, Jumanji, Cutthroat Island, Sudden Death, 4 Rooms, and 12 Monkeys. That was everything I wrote down.
A lot of crossover there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Braveheart, Seven, and Toy Story probably the 3 best from that year for me.
Yeah.
Or Heat, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I probably agree with you with that.
Yeah. Well, we will call it a day there. Literally just hit the 3-hour mark, bang on. So we'll end the stream there because I've got a lot of Blu-rays to put away before I go to bed. So thanks for joining, Pete.
No problems.
Yeah, definitely get you back on again soon.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining Tim as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, been a fun stream, even though there's only been 3 of us. Still gone really well, I think. So yeah. Thanks for joining everyone. Yeah, thanks for joining everyone in the comments. And yeah, I'm going to go straight away. But yeah, talk to you all soon. Bye, guys.
Yeah, see you all in a bit.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers, Ollie. Bye, Pete.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.